Hey everybody, welcome to episode 6 of the Ali Motamid podcast. Sorry if my lips are smacking and you can hear a lot of saliva. My mouth is really dry. I just wanted to say that there are going to be some notifications from Discord that you'll hear like throughout the episode. It happens twice and it's a little distracting and I tried to edit it out but I couldn't, and just wanted to mention that they are there and they can be a little annoying. But other than that, don't really have anything else to say. This was fun. I enjoyed this episode, and in the process of recording it, it was really difficult, but in retrospect, listening back to what I had to say, I'm pretty proud of how I said and articulated my points. So thanks for watching the video, and I hope you enjoy the episode. All right, have fun. Now I am ready. Now it's been a long time. Now it's been 2 weeks. Last time it was just 1 week, but it's 2 weeks now. Hello, Manny.
Hello.
Yeah, song for me. I've been watching too much stuff. I watched so much stuff, Manny. And I watched 3 movies. Princess Mononoke, Howl's Moving Castle, and fucking Nausicaä of the Valley of the Wind. Yeah.
So you saw Howl's in theaters?
I decided to watch it at home. Howl's, if I were to watch it in theaters, I'd have to watch it tomorrow. Like, that's when I would do it. And I know that you're not as available on weekdays, so I was like, should I watch it on Monday and then talk to him the next weekend? But the next weekend, My Hero comes out that weekend, and like I will see it and you probably won't, and like it's also Halloween weekend, so it would just be like, it just wouldn't be good to do it next weekend, and I don't want to wait like a month to talk about like Howl's Moving Castle and stuff. So I was just like, I'm just gonna watch it at home. I also accidentally bought a ticket for another movie on the same day, so it's just like, I'll just go see that instead and watch Howl's Moving Castle on HBO Max. So I did that, and I didn't regret it. It was good.
Okay.
Yeah, and I watched Princess Mononoke and Nausicaä Valley of the Wind, and you watched those 3. Did you watch anything else besides that?
I was gonna watch The Secret World of Arrietty.
Mm-hmm.
But
Didn't get
I sat down, got ready to watch it, and I didn't.
I feel you. It's good. It's good. Because I was very anxious that you would watch Star Wars Visions, and I would be like, fuck, how am I supposed to fit all 3 of these names in the title? And I still might not be able to of this video, because Nausicaä of the Valley of the Wind is like the longest title in the world. So we'll see. But
not as long as the new Isekai is coming out.
Tell me the longest title of the new Isekai.
It'd be like fucking tall black nigga goes back to a new world where he's a basketball player. It'd be like
full sentences.
It'd be like
how not to pick up a girl in a dungeon.
World-renowned assassin goes to a new world to become a Democrat. Like, relax on the titles.
Yeah, I know.
And it's like every season, it gets worse.
People just like that. Where do those kind of titles come from? It feels like something you'd make for a short story, and then your short story turns into a full-fledged series that people like. So weird. Anime is weird.
Like, why can't it like ReZero is like ReZero?
Well, no, it's ReZeros.
Yeah, I know. But it's ReZero. It's ReZero.
And now it falls into that too. Starting life in another world. It's the same kind of thing. It's like we got to have a full phrase. We got to explain to people what it's about in the title, without make it extremely clear on the nose.
3-0.
Yeah.
That secondary title does not count.
That's
Nah,
valid.
but oh, I guess we get to that later.
Yeah, there was so many fucking things that I watched, and I was going to watch something Halloween related before this episode just to bring it up passively, but I didn't even watch it. So
Like that movie on HBO, the Something Bride.
well, no, I was gonna watch something anime related that was like, but
Oh,
in regards to like normal
Soul Eater?
movies, no, I was actually gonna watch Ayakashi Samurai Horror Tales. Like I was gonna watch the whole thing because I have the Blu-ray, and I was like, what better time to watch it than now? And I just didn't get around to it because I'm very busy and I'm really like working on videos now, so I don't really have time to watch shit for fun. I have to kind of make sure I'm watching the things that I need to watch. So,
yeah. You know, a movie I really want to see.
what?
I want to see Doom.
I saw it
It
yesterday.
looks cool.
It was cool. I'm glad. Like you will enjoy it. It would make a great discussion. I'd love if you watched it. We'd have a lot to talk about.
Did you watch the original one?
No, you don't need to. It's bad.
I don't think about 1984.
Yeah, but like people were saying after that movie came out, like Dune is unadaptable. Like Dune, people treat Dune like they treat Berserk. It's like, how can you even make this a movie? It's like the fact that it's a book. There's so much lore and it's so dense and there's like so much stuff. But
Yeah,
they do it.
there's,
They honestly
know
do
there's
it. They do it very well.
I know there's 9 books.
There are a lot of books, and the movie isn't even the whole first book. It's like, I think it's like
I could tell.
a fifth. I think it's like 1/5 of the first book, which is so funny. But it's great regardless. And if it doesn't get a sequel, I'm gonna be mad.
Literally, I just saw it.
Yeah,
Like, I was like, it looks cool.
they are promoting it up the ass.
I did some research on it, and I was like, this could be like the next like fucking show that like not show but movie that gets like
Really hype.
Dune 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, it could be like the next big classic series, like Lord of the Rings or Star Wars.
Harry Potter.
Yeah, honest. And I hope it is. It's trying to be, and the first movie definitely delivers on that. I don't know how normies will react to it though, cuz
Okay.
normies might hate this shit. So, I don't know.
I want to watch it.
Yeah, I'm going to watch it again. I watched it in theaters, but I want to watch
Bro,
it one more
I wish
time.
I was in Brockton.
Bro, I wish you were in Brockton.
Bro.
You will be back soon, and we will go to the movies again at some point. Fucking yeah, I loved it, and I know you'll like it too, Manny. It's a movie we can talk about.
What is that?
Reminds me a lot of Ghost in the Shell.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's dope as fuck.
Interesting. I wanted
Any-
to fucking sit there in my kitchen, but my roommate fucking.
Oh, I didn't know you had roommates. I was like, who the hell's that? Do you have like different like bedrooms?
Yeah.
That's
Like this
crazy.
whole room is mine. But
That's dope.
yeah, like our first episodes, our first like what 4 or 5.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have one, but then he came.
Oh, that's crazy. But you're
That's
in
why
like
I was in the kitchen. That's why I was in the kitchen. Those early episodes, I was in the kitchen loud and stuff.
yeah.
Now I'm always here.
Okay, that makes sense. Why did that happen? If I
Hmm?
may, why did that happen? If I may ask, you got a roommate.
Well,
Yeah,
it's the Navy. The Navy just
yeah.
puts him here.
I gotcha. Well, I saw Dune. Watched James Bond. I watched fucking Venom. I watched all the new. I'm caught up on everything. Basically.
Oh yeah.
But watch Dune. That would be a great thing to talk about. All right.
Yeah.
You wanna which one do you wanna talk about first, Manny? I guess we'll just get into it.
Let's talk about Princess.
Okay. I was hoping you'd say that. That's what I was thinking too. Princess Mononoke. Fucking 2000. When did this movie come out? I think it came out 2007. Fucking action-packed Ghibli joint. Did you like it? First off.
It was incredible.
Yeah.
It was so good. It was so good. It made.
Wow.
It was so good. I don't know if I want to say this now. I'll save it later, but I think you know what I'm going to say.
Say it. Do you need to save it for later, or
it has something to do with another movie we're going to talk about.
Okay, gotcha. Well, I mean, I guess we'll just have to say it now. Like, this movie is so the like same movie as Nausicaä. It's like the exact same fucking movie, to the point where you're going to compare and contrast whether you want to or not.
Yeah.
And I mean, I guess, I don't know. Is there anything you want to say about this movie, regardless of comparisons to Nausicaä? I know that might be like all that we're thinking about right now, but
I just want to. It's like Princess is like the upgraded version.
Yeah, essentially, like visually, and you could argue narratively.
Definitely narratively.
Yeah, definitely. You think so?
Yeah.
Elaborate, if you can.
I feel like, now let's just talk about Princess. Then we'll get to the. I feel like we'll save the comparison
for later. Yeah, Princess. I liked it. I think Miyazaki's philosophies and like the way he thinks bleed into the movies that he like makes. I think he's a very he's like a nihilistic person. Like he is a very pessimistic, like I don't, like life is meaningless, like everybody sucks, there's no way that you can like fix the world kind of person. But he's also like an optimist in a sense. It's really weird. Like his movies are about like life and how much they suck, but they all have like happy endings. Like it's like Devilman if it had a happy ending. That's essentially what his movies are, especially like this movie. Like this movie's about like all these people fighting each other for like reasons that are understandable, but like very frustrating to watch, because it's just like, you're all like, destroying your planet, but like it's understandable why you guys act this way. And he does a good job at like getting you to not hate any of the characters, despite all of them like kind of being assholes, because none of them are. There's like no bad guys in any of these movies. Like think about that. Princess Mononoke doesn't have a bad guy.
Mm-mm.
At least not in my opinion. And I feel the same way for Nausicaä, and it's because like everyone is wrong, but nobody's wrong to the extent where like you hate them, or like the movie characterizes them as like, super mega evil. And that's awesome, because he's a simultaneously loving person, but he's also like a very pessimistic person that feels as if the world's gonna burn and die no matter what. I mean, like it feels like he feels that way, but then you watch the ending of his movies and you watch the ending of this movie, and it's like, oh, I guess like you don't feel that way. I guess you have more of an optimistic point of view. Like you think everything will be fine. I compare this to Devilman so much, Manny, because like the messages in this are the same messages in Devilman, but Devilman ends in like what I consider like to be like the nihilistic, pessimistic ending, where it's like everybody dies, and no matter how much you love like people, you can't do anything about it, because you like love like will not necessarily save the day, right? So despite how much Akira loves his friends and like even the Rio, his antagonist, it doesn't matter, because the fucking world blew up and everybody sucks and everybody's gonna fight each other no matter what you do, no matter how much you love. And this movie is kind of, I don't know, all of Miyazaki's movies, not just Princess Mononoke, they all kind of have this philosophy of like love can save the day, or love will prevail. And I don't know if like in the most objective sense, if we're being like actually like objective about it, I don't know if that like is true. I still believe in like the Devilman kind of like, yeah, we're all gonna die and we'll probably be the cause of our own destruction, and there's nothing we can do about that. But Miyazaki, like, I don't know, all these endings feel like they happen in like the last like 5 or 10 minutes, like right at the end. Like, all right, everybody's good, nobody's mad, everything's good. And I don't dislike that at all, actually. I feel like it's very optimistic in contrast to the rest of the movie. But I feel like that's kind of what he aims for. I feel like he's just, regardless of whether it makes sense or not, he just wants people to be happy. And he wants to convince himself like that his nihilistic viewpoint is not, you know, like all there is to life. You know what I mean? Like through his movies, it's almost like he's telling himself like, it's not that bad. Like, you know, people can prevail. And sometimes he's right. You know, sometimes things aren't that bad and people will change on a whim. And it's, I don't know, it might not, basically what I'm trying to say, it's like, it might not be the right like ending, like the most plausible, but it's the nice one that you enjoy. And that's the main thing that I derive from this movie. And it does that in a very well executed way. It's very well written. All the characters like have their own motivations and like things about them that separate them from everybody else. Everyone in the movie is like so different and unique. Like, and the animation obviously, and the soundtrack and the sound design, like when people shoot and when people like, and when like trees are breaking and stuff, and when people walk and stuff, and the designs of the characters, the deer god looks fucking cool as shit. And yeah, those are my general thoughts on the movie. Tell me what you think.
I feel like, especially with the ending where you said like everything gets wrapped up, like quickly. I do feel it in Princess Mononoke, and you said you liked it.
I liked it, but what I'm trying to say is like I acknowledge its fault, but I like it anyways. Like I acknowledge that like it feels a little contrived and it comes out of nowhere, and it's like really like, but I don't really care. Like I still like it regardless.
Yeah, I thought the ending, like, first I want to say, like, when I was watching Princess Mononoke, I literally couldn't take my eyes off the screen. Like, I could not take my eyes. It was like, I was like,
yes.
For real. And it was like, when it comes to the ending, I do feel like it was wrapped. I didn't like the way it was kind of wrapped up. Okay. I do feel like it was like super. I feel like if the movie had like 10 extra minutes of like just the ending, it would have been like amazing. But like, because I remember everything happens, right? And then the female who killed the spirit, she was like, yeah, I don't want to hurt the Force anymore. Let's help rebuild. Like,
yeah. Yeah, it does kind of come out of nowhere. But
bro, you literally just killed a god and destroyed all the trees. All the trees that disappeared. Yeah. Now you're like, you're sitting back, I don't want to do this anymore. Let's help rebuild. Yeah. I'm like, okay.
It was the influence of the main character. Like his thing. That, and that, like, she never expressed, she like disagreed with him and she was like, oh, I'm going to do my thing. But she always understood him and she always listened to him. And in that final moment, I guess it just kind of resonated with her. So I don't know, I'm capable of like accepting that. Like it is, I will say this, compared to like the other movies we're going to talk about, this one did feel the most like out of nowhere and like, you know, kind of what the fuck compared to Nausicaä and Howl's Moving Castle. I feel like they're better in those movies. And those movies are the same where it's like people change their minds like last minute, but it's more understandable. You can kind of convince yourself like that those characters will change their mind more than these characters. At least I can. So that's valid. And I'm glad you said that. Yeah.
Like it didn't really take away from my enjoyment, but it was kind of like
it did sting a little.
It did sting. It did. Yeah. Because the movie was on such a great run.
Yeah, and then you're like, "What the fuck? What was that?"
Yeah, literally like 10 extra minutes of animation.
Yeah,
was that like $20 million for 10?
I I think the idea is because you're watching the movie and you're like, this character is wrong and they're doing the bad thing and they should be either punished or they should you should be convinced as an audience member that they've kind of turned a new leaf and they understood their wrongdoing. And I can understand why watching that you'd be like unfulfilled because that doesn't happen, like, or you feel as if that doesn't happen. But I don't know. I was skimming the movie before we hopped on here, and I was just looking at like specific lines, like all the moments where she's like talking to him and when he's like talking to her, and some of the things they say to each other and like the dialogue just kind of really like was like, I don't know, it resonated with me to a degree where it's like to where I could accept the ending. Whenever he's with her, like he talks about like, you know, just we should all like live together and you should love all the creatures and blah, 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 blah. And she never is like, you're wrong, and like has an evil reaction. She just kind of lets him say it and like continues with her philosophy. So yeah, once again, it just, I could accept it because of that, just like going back and watching those scenes. I will say, bro, these are some of the hardest movies to talk about because they're like, there's so much to unpack and there's so much to like digest. And because I watched Princess Mononoke the first time like a while ago and I felt the same way that you felt, but now I don't feel that way just because I understand it and because I'm looking at it more from like the perspective of this was made by a person and like what was this person thinking and like why did they want to make this ending like for this kind of story. And that's why I explain like what I think Miyazaki's philosophy is, because when I think about his life and just like the videos that I was watching and like the fact that he grew up in Japan like during the war and stuff, like I don't know, it would be weird if it had like a Devilman-esque ending or if it tried to like go too hard on convincing you that people who are evil are like not that evil, you know? And that's why I feel like it tries to make her not that bad. It's so hard to talk about these movies because my opinion on them changes and my perspective changes with each time I watch it. So I don't have like a bona fide like look.
I know for like, obviously like when you going into these type of movies, you never, you know, like the Devilman type ending will never happen, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So, like you already know she's gonna turn a new leaf. I feel like it was executed kind of weak.
It was, especially compared to other ones.
Yeah.
And it feels like a lot of his movies end like this, where it's like there's a conflict between characters and then there's a resolution between those characters and it happens in like the last 10 minutes. Yeah, so that's valid. But I don't know. My opinion on that has changed over time. How did you feel about like the ending where like they have to live in isolation like from each other? Like the animals don't like interact with the humans and the humans don't interact with the animals. Like that was the most jarring thing to me, not in a bad way, but like in a surprising like, oh wow, that's not like the Disney ending I was expecting.
Yeah. It was yeah, I remember this shit. I remember that shit. Like, I don't know. I like things like that. Like, not everything's gonna be like, you know, perfect in a way. Like, you know, like everyone's the wolf girl and the main character to stay together. You know, it's like everyone wants that. But I like when shit like this happens, where it's just like, yo, that's not gonna happen, bro. Suck it up. You know what I mean? I like shit like that. So
I like shit like that too.
I think, yeah, it's like some movies try to be like too what's the word?
Optimistic. They tried to like make the ending as happy as possible.
Yeah, like the ending was already fucking happy. Y'all didn't have to go the extra mile to like, oh, they love each other.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? No, it's not even like the movie's not even like, it's not even about that. So I'm happy they didn't go like that route.
Yeah.
But don't get me wrong, that scene where like, you know, he's picking up the head
Yeah.
And they're both picking it up, and then he like grabs her like this.
Yeah.
That was dope. That was dope. He's like, come here. I was like,
that's good.
Fire.
That was fire.
Literally, they didn't have to do that. That was just a nice touch.
It was.
And even the scene where like when they're on the like the spirit place, and like you know where the lake is and the island in the middle. He's like, we gotta go save them, and the wolf girl starts like screaming at him like, I always knew you're with the humans. And he's just like, I think she like I like the little touches they had. It was like they'd be like, oh, this could be a relationship. This would be I ship them.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, nah.
Yeah. Well, they do say that they love each other at the end, so it's like you do get that payoff of like, oh, they do like each other, and you know they like each other. But there's also this other side to the story that has to be fulfilled as well, or has to have like, that was the one thing where it's like, you want like a happy ending for everybody. You want them to be together. You want the wars to like not affect the societal like things in these like groups of like, you know, the wolves and the humans. You want everybody to be happy and like happily ever after. And it's as happily ever after as you can possibly make a story like this, right? So this movie is about humanity's relationship with nature and nature's relationship with humanity, and how it's just like conceptually humans and nature are like meant to clash, and like we fuck them up and like they fuck us up, and as human beings we kind of have this desire to just like, the guy says it in the movie, the little old guy that like is working for like the emperor or whatever. He has a quote that I wrote down. He says like, humans fucking we desire to push, the thirst to possess heaven and earth is what makes us human. And I love that, because that's essentially like the whole problem with the humans in this movie. It's like, yo, we're not bad. We're just doing our thing. We're just like expanding and like trying to make newer technology and trying to grow. Like, yeah, we can be peaceful like you, but we don't want to live in fucking huts. Like, you know, we want to like have new clothes, and we want to grow, and we want to like have new shit. And in order to do that, we have to like take from them. And we are animals just like they're animals. So inherently, what's the issue with that, right? Like, that's a philosophy that you can have, and that's the philosophy that the humans have in this movie. And it's like, it's understandable, but it's sad, because the animals have to suffer, and then the animals have the perspective of like, the humans are fucking with us, so we should fuck with them back. And it's just like this cycle of hatred that like nobody can do anything about, because it's just the way things are. And I forget where I was going with this. I started off with like a point, but basically, yeah, like the humans have their philosophy and the animals have their philosophy. And I think the point that I was trying to make initially was that I like how this movie answers those things. I think that's what I was trying to say. I'm just going to drop it. I forgot what I was going for. But yeah, I like that aspect to it. Yeah. This is so difficult to talk about.
This movie has a lot of positives.
It does.
The positives definitely outweigh the negative. Like, you know, when it comes to the gore.
Yeah, I love how they did the blood.
I was so unexpected.
Yeah, because he never does that.
I remember that first he fucking on his elf shit and fucking.
Yeah, and the dude's like,
the dude's head came off. I was like, dude.
That never happens in a Miyazaki movie. It never happens. But it has to happen with this movie, because it's like sad and fucking, you know, it's about like that we kill each other and like we're mean and shit. So it makes sense that it shows that gore. I love when the boar gets fucked up and he's all like bloody, like near the end. All the boars, like all the pig things, the giant one that like is bleeding.
That part was sad.
That's probably, in my opinion, the best part of the movie.
Get blown up.
Yeah, I love when like, yeah, I love when he's like alive, but he's like not really alive, and he's like, I think he's like possessed by like the demonic like curse thing that like envelops like the main character as well, and he's just fueled by hatred so much that it's like keeping him alive basically, and he's like a zombie. And the dude, he goes to the deer god and he's like, deer god, revive me, look at what the humans are doing. And the deer god's, I love how the deer god kills him, but it saves like, I think it saved the deer that the kid rides on. That's another thing where it's like, that's a perfect thing about this movie, where like they do shit like that but they don't explain it, and it's just like you have to understand it and you have to like derive value from it by figuring it out yourself. And that's the thing that ties into like the themes of these movies, where this movie specifically, where it's like, yeah, wars suck, but they are inevitable and there's nothing you can really do about it, and people are going to die, and sometimes it's just their time and sometimes it's not. And that's why the deer god like saved the elk, where it was like, it's not really your time yet and you didn't really deserve to die. But for the boar, it's like, you know, you were a part of the conflict, like, you know, you decided to die, like, and you know, I guess it is your time. That's why I killed the boar.
I like the spirit god. I like him too, because it's like on what does it say? Fuck. Well, okay. I liked his design, first of all.
Yeah, his design was OD.
Look cool as fuck.
I know. When they fucking shot it, that was like the most scary moment ever. I was like, I remember when I like first saw it, I was like, no. Yeah, because I didn't know the implications of that. It's like, what did you do?
He got shot, and then he just went back to normal.
Yeah, exactly. And imagine what that represents, Manny. It's like you have this magical being that's like super powerful, that can transform and like save lives and stuff, and a gun just like busts his head open. Like, that means so much to me, because
it was weird, because like he ate the foot. Like the first bullet didn't affect him, and the second one did.
Yeah, he got shot by the first bullet. I forgot about that, bro. Holy shit, I'm so glad you remembered that. Why did that happen? See, yeah. I don't even know. I don't fucking know. Yeah.
I was wondering when I watched the movie. But like, you can backtrack a little. When I was saying about the god, like, I fucking forgot again. Yeah.
It's okay.
So like, it from the boar's perspective, like he's like you said, he's like God, like he's like God, please, like me and you, bro, we're animals. Look.
Yeah.
Like. It's so like realistic.
Mm-hmm.
Like people do like see God in that way, with like, God,
yes.
like you owe me this, right?
Right.
It's like so like you see like humans do it, and now you see this boy do it to his God. And
yes.
Like, you see from the boy's perspective, he's thinking, oh yeah, the spirit god's here. He got me.
Yeah, and exactly.
Like, and I love the way it was shown, like,
yeah,
the spirit god looking so holy.
Yeah, he's so holy. Because I love, like, when there's conflict on Earth, from a god's perspective, conflict doesn't bring them the same sorrow that it brings us, because to them, like, that is beautiful. So, like, I feel like he has a smile on his face all the time. This is just my interpretation. I feel like he has a smile on his face all the time to represent, like, how he is happy with the world and how he like loves everything that transpires in it, no matter how violent or how cruel it could get. So like when the dude dies and he like, you know, I think he kisses him or something, and then like he like goes to sleep in the most like calm manner. It's like, don't worry, bro. Like, it's not as deep as you think. So you're right. I love what you just said. That's so valid.
Yeah, and it's like literally, like, this happens in real life.
Mm-hmm.
Like, literally, when I watched the movie, I was like, dude, this is so realistic. It was just portrayed with animals. Like,
yeah,
people, like, I'm trying to, like, say this in a way.
Take your time. It's an analogy.
It's like, you know, people always asking, like, can God please for, like, things to happen to them, but would fuck up other people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm trying to like find a way to say this, but I really can't. But I do like I even see this with my friends where they. I don't know if you know, but I'm atheist.
Mm-hmm.
But I do a lot. I study a lot with religion, like all types of religion, right? But
yeah,
I see it in my own friends, where it's like they'll do what the board did, and they talk in a manner in which God owes them this.
They are right. They're hypocritical. Like
yeah, it's kind of hypocritical.
Like you endorse this religion and you say that like you believe in like a God that like loves everything and like I don't know, like you ask for something that is counterintuitive to what you worship. So
right.
I can say it in a more detailed way, but it's difficult to discern.
There's a way to word this.
Yeah.
When I remember seeing the scene, I was like, bro, that was done.
You want to know? You want to know how to word it? Because it's like the boar is asking for his life back. It's like, yo, like I'm an animal. Like help me, and like so we can kill the humans. And to the god's perspective,
I've been worshiping you. Like I worship you. Like you can.
Yeah, and it's like
we're together. Like,
exactly. To the god's perspective, it's like you worshiping me does not make you any better than them. Like they have the same value that you have. So why should I revive you when you were like in the same conflict that they were in? And this is like, like this is just the way it is. Like this, you have no, you are not better than them. And I do not give preference to you just because you spend like every day praying to me every morning. Right. And that's what a lot of people do. A lot of people are like, yeah.
And it's funny because in another, like at the same time, like the main character's trying to like break it down to the board god, like yo, like, don't do this, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And then, like, you took your own initiative to go do this war, which got all your boards massacred.
Yeah.
And now you're going to ask to get revived. Like, it's really like, bro, how dare you?
Exactly, yeah.
Like, how dare you?
That's so smart. Oh, my God.
That was literally like my number one thing about the movie. That was amazing to me.
Yeah.
It's so real. It's so real. Like it's such an ugly side of like humans who like do that. That's like such an ugly side, and it's portrayed well in this movie with animals.
Yeah, and I loved how like, so that's like but that's like one piece of this movie. Right. Like the movie's not even about like what we're talking about right now. Exactly. It's about like 3 other things at the same time. I love how like the little guy and his like soldiers from like the other country that we never even see. I love how like they operated and how like when the boar went to the deer god, they were like tricking him and like masquerading as like the dead bodies of like the other boars, which in and of itself, like I immediately connect to having like an analogy with like real life things. I feel like there's so much deceit and like lying in a real world, and there are people that like do that where it's just like, yeah, this is dishonest as fuck and it's really fucked up, but it's like, we got to do what we got to do, bro. Like I know I'm saying it in like a really simple way, but
that dude is interesting because at the end where he was like come on, he's like to the main character, he's like, come on, like no one ever has their way in this world, let me just have this. Like,
yeah.
He's like such a manipulator. Like he manipulated that whole thing. Like he was really tactical about it, and even to the end, he tried to still finesse a way out of it. You know?
I know.
Like let me have this, bro. Like no one has this. Let me have this, bro.
And it's so,
like, bro. He was interesting. He was great.
He was a great character. I love like how he's doing like the most evil shit in the movie. Like he's easily like the most like morally like bankrupt of like all of them, but his perspective is not like cartoony. Like when you watch him on screen, he seems like a chill dude. Even when he has the fucking deer god's head and the entire fucking forest is like dying, he's like, yay, I did it, let's go. Like and
it makes sense because he's not even like from there.
Yeah, he's not even from there, and
he doesn't give a damn.
Right, and to him it's just like I like the line that he says where it's like humans want to possess heaven and earth, and like me doing this is not immoral because I'm a human and this is what we do. Like I watched this like video essay on this racetrack that was built like Talladega, and it's this racetrack that was so fucking big and so like large that it like was nonsensical to a point where it didn't even make for a good race, but people just wanted to build the racetrack because be like, yo, let's make the biggest fucking racetrack and let's make this one like the best one. And that video like exuded the same points that's happening in this, where it's just like, it doesn't make sense and there's no reason why we have to do it, but we just feel the need to do it because we want more control. As human beings, we desire to like understand and know everything. That's why we research the solar system. Do we need to know the solar system, Manny? Do we need to know what's out there? No, we really don't. Do we need to go to the fucking moon? Do we really need to go to the moon? No, we don't. We can survive easily. Do we need television? Do we need to stick shit in our brains and you know, be like Dune and be able to fly? It's like, no, you don't need any of that shit, but we're human beings and we want to control everything. We want to control science. We want to control Earth. We want to take control of heaven. We want to be the harbingers of like the universe. And so when he's doing that and he has the like that, like conceptually, like when I say that sentence out loud, this normal ass character has the dear God's head in his hand and he's running away as like the fucking thing. That's like so poetic. Just saying that is like how can someone even do that, you know?
He was interesting.
He was interesting. And then when the movie ends, I love his final line. He's like, oh, I don't remember exactly what he said, but he laughed and he was like, he laughed and he was like, oh, I guess I tried, you know, I guess I can't beat that kid or something like that. He just had like a very positive, like whatever kind of ending. He wasn't even mad at the end. And I love characters like that. There are characters like that in other pieces of media, like people who are like, who do bad things, but are like nice people. But they did him very well, and it had like a purpose in this story because there are three like characters, or like four sides of four characters that have like four like differing philosophies that define this movie. And it's like story. The wolf people, the main character, the old guy, and the gunsmith girl. And they all have their own perspective and they all are different. And it all explains like, hey, the reason why humans have wars, it's because of these four archetypes. And it just kind of explains like why it happens by showing you each person's perspective and why. And I love that. And it's really good. And I honestly can't say everything that there is to say about this movie in this call because there's too much.
If we saw it in a theater and just talked about it right after, we would have so much more to say. Like, there's so much to unpack.
Yeah.
But like it is what it is with the calls. Like we watched it. Yeah. Weeks pass. We watch other things and we like.
To be fair,
when I watch movies, I need to take more notes.
I did not take any notes for any of these movies.
Movies is so hard. It's hard.
Yeah.
Like,
the only times I take notes is on like my second watch when like I've already experienced it, but I didn't take notes on any of these because I was like trying to experience them for the first time.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Like if I took notes and I like had this in my head like for the 2 weeks, which I do for other shows, then I would have a lot more to say and I would be a lot more concise with my thoughts. And I'm sorry for not taking notes. I really should for the future. Like I should make sure.
I didn't. It's because like you don't. When I watch movies, I hate being interrupted.
Yeah.
Right. I hate being interrupted. I hate taking my eyes off the screen. Me too. I don't want to pause it, write a paragraph, and continue.
Right.
And so with anime episodes, so much easier after every episode.
Yeah. Exactly.
With this, it's like.
Yeah.
You know.
You have to like watch it twice. You have to like watch it once and be like, all right, now I can take notes. That's usually what I do. And I just didn't do that this time because I was like, I'm not going to have a lot to say. It's just Princess Mononoke. Because I didn't remember this movie being so dense and having so much shit in it. but it's really hard to do this, you know. Some movies I can do that with. I can not take any notes and like I'll be good. Like Promare, I don't even take notes on fucking Promare. It's Promare. But you do need to take notes on this, and you do need to like make sure you have all your thoughts in line. So yeah, you're right.
It was, but you know, Princess, like I'm trying to remember like
parts,
the early parts of the movie. I remember like the wolf girl. I loved whenever she was on screen. She's so her design and the wolf's design is so dope.
Her design,
like the cover art for the movie.
Yeah,
is amazing.
Yeah,
it's amazing. Literally, that's what made me want. I was gonna watch it regardless, but like it made it just so good. Like, and oh my god, like fucking Isekai shows need to take notes on creativity.
Did you send me a message on Discord? Or I heard a bang? That might have been someone else.
No, I'm looking at the cover art. It's so, you know, she got the blood. Like, it's like, yo, she has a knife like this. It's like, bro, it's just dope.
It's just a screenshot from the movie.
Yeah, like when he
is
first
really cool. I
kind of want this poster like in my room, literally.
Yeah, no, it's a good poster.
It's so clean, like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Hold on.
I'd imagine.
It's so like smooth. It's everything about it is so smooth. Like
it tells you,
like the wolf, they're looking at you.
It tells you everything that you need to know about the movie. Like you know, it's like the message of the movie is being told through the poster, essentially. You know, like you feel what you feel while watching the movie in the poster, and that's what a poster should do.
It's so dope.
Remember what you said, Manny. The poster equates the value of the movie.
And when it comes to anime, that's true for a lot. For like a lot of anime.
Yeah.
You can tell off the poster.
Yeah. And this is
good anime have good posters.
Yeah, and this is a good anime with a good ass poster. It's great. Did you watch it dubbed or subbed?
I watched it dubbed.
Okay. Was it good? I know all the dubs are good for like Ghibli movies, but yeah.
It was good.
They usually have like popular English actors like do the dub, which is always really cool to me. But yeah, I think another one of my fuck, I don't remember what I was gonna say. Man, yeah, bro, it sucks. Like, I feel unsatisfied.
No.
Yeah, go ahead.
In Nausicaä, the Asbel, the guy, his voice acted by Shia LaBeouf.
Really? That's crazy. That's so crazy. Oh my god. There's a lot.
I remember when you said that, I was like, I knew someone who did Nausicaä.
Like when watching the movie, you recognized his voice?
Hell no. I was okay. I've seen it somewhere.
Okay.
I wish I did. That would be. I don't expect someone I know to do it. I think there's other people here as well.
Yeah, read them. Read the ones for Princess Mononoke.
Hold on.
I'll look up Princess Mononoke. I was gonna say that I feel unfulfilled by this like conversation. Like I didn't get to say everything that I know I would want to say about this movie, but I guess I have to accept that because this is all I can say.
It sucks. It sucks, bro. Like this movie deserves a way longer conversation.
It does. We can talk about it again one day. We can like talk about it again in like a couple months or something. But
fuck, man, I need to go back home.
Yeah. We
gotta have like a movie night and fucking watch something.
I know. We will.
We definitely will. Fuck, man. Oh, the movie.
There's so much.
You know what? The movie is so good. The main character. I feel the main character. You know, like
you feel his anger.
Yeah, like because it's to the viewer, it's also frustrating watching everything unfold.
Mm-hmm.
The movie gets progressively more frustrating, and you can see it in the main character as well.
Mm-hmm.
So you really like you resonate with him.
Yeah,
and it's so dope that like they portray it so good.
Mm-hmm.
And you literally and then when it gets to that point when the god dies, and it's just like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And then like everything goes to shit, and you're just watching shit. It's like the main character's been trying to stop this, and now it's got to this point.
Yeah.
The whole forest is dead. The god is fucking dead.
Yeah.
And like, what do you got to show for everything that happened? Like, look what happened. Fucking the forest is gone. The girl's gone. The wolves are gone.
It's frustrating,
good. But it's at the same time, it's so good.
Mm-hmm.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Dude. It's a movie. This movie was spectacular. It surpassed my expectations. This is probably, as of right now, best Ghibli movie I've seen.
Okay, that's awesome. I'm glad you feel that way, because that's what a lot of people say about this movie. A lot of people say that this is their favorite. And one thing going into this that I knew I would say is that it might be my least favorite. I mean, obviously, I haven't seen every Ghibli movie, but out of the ones that I've seen, this is lower on the totem pole than it is for like any other one. And I think it's just because this movie really is just like, there are a lot of the Ghibli movies talk about this. Nausicaä is literally like the same movie, and even Howl's Moving Castle is like very similar. Like, it's more, Howl's Moving Castle is like, it's doing different things, but in the background, like, this movie's happening too. And if you watch other Miyazaki movies, like there's so many war movies that he does. So this isn't even like, I feel like all the other ones that I've seen, Howl's Moving Castle, Nausicaä, and Castle in the Sky is in the same vein as this as well. I like those more because I feel like they tackle it in a way that makes more sense to me and is more fulfilling to me. And you were saying that the ending was kind of like, what?
Yeah.
I don't hate this movie like because of its ending, but I do dislike it more than other Ghibli movies because of its ending. Because I think Nausicaä, and I'm sorry to make these comparisons so quick, but I think Nausicaä and even Howl's Moving Castle are like, have better versions of this ending. Like Howl's Moving Castle, it's like philosophically, it's like the same ending. It's saying the same thing, and it's doing it better than this movie does it. In this movie, you're like, huh? What are you trying to say, Miyazaki? I don't fully understand the message that you're delivering right now, because it's kind of weird. And then in other movies, you completely understand it. You completely understand what they're trying to say. You completely understand the message. And once again, like, I don't know if that judgment is like valid, because maybe I'll feel differently if I watch this movie again. And maybe even if a movie isn't well executed, maybe you can derive value from it despite it being kind of contrived. That's why I was saying earlier, like, I still like this ending because of how pessimistic and nihilistic the rest of the movie is. I still think that it resonates with me in that sense, even if it doesn't make a lot of sense logically. Like, it's honestly like, it's the same thing with Ride Your Wave, where it's like, this issue is stupid as fuck, and it's like it really doesn't make that. No, I'm talking about the twist that we were talking about with like the girl, like not telling the girl about like being a hero.
What do you compare to?
I'm comparing the ending of Princess Mononoke and how like the characters switching, like flipping philosophies is kind of contrived and out of nowhere, in the same way that issue detracts from the logic of it, where it's like, that doesn't make sense. How did that happen? in the same way that Ride Your Wave detracts from the logic of that movie, I still love like the core emotional thing that the movie's going for. So even though I acknowledge that fault, it doesn't detract from my love for like that story and what it's like trying to say. And I feel the same way about Princess Mononoke, where it's like, yeah, it doesn't really make a lot of sense and it is kind of stupid, but I still like it. And I'm glad that he did it. And I'm glad he didn't, because I don't know, if it was more logical, maybe it would lack, maybe I wouldn't care as much. You know, maybe the fact that it is so illogical and it's still resonant with me despite how illogical in nature it is, I like it because of that. Does that make any sense? Like the ending is contrived and forced, but I agree with its messaging and it's what it's trying to do so much that I don't care. Like, you know?
I feel like the ending isn't forced. I just feel like it is a bit rushed. I don't think it's forced.
Forced might be an extreme word, but like, I think
rushed. I think rushed is fair. The ending, like it was, like I said, it was like what the fuck, but
yeah,
it didn't. For me, it didn't take anything away. It really didn't, cause like, I guess we could talk about that later, but I don't know.
Yeah,
and like it's for me. I think I've only seen 5 Ghibli movies now.
Okay.
4. Ocean Waves, Vows, nah. Yeah, I only seen 4. And I got a lot more to watch. But out of those 4, that's 5 actually, Cat Returns, but it would be at the top.
Gotcha.
It's so like compelling.
Yeah. Okay. I remember the scene that I liked. I love when the Princess Mononoke attacked the gun woman like in the place. The way they animated her, she like ran like a wolf. Like she like ran. She was animated faster than any of the other characters like in the movie up until that point. And I just thought that was like a really nice touch. And the way she moved was like really unique and really cool. And when she's fighting like the girl is moving at like a different speed than she's moving. Because she's like faster than her, because she's like half wolf, half girl, or whatever. Right. Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I like about that part too? And the main character gets up with his fucking overpowered arm, fucking bends the dude's sword.
Yeah.
Just walks the crowd. He's like, fucking hits the wolf guy on the stomach, picks her up, and just casual walks out the place.
Bro, doesn't someone shoot him and then like he keeps walking? That shit was so fire. That shit was so OD.
Like, yeah. It's so badass.
Yeah.
He's like, stop. And he was like, stop. We need like 10 men or like 20 men to open this gate. And he's like,
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And I remember like when he went to the door, it was a nice touch. Like a random character was like, stop now. You don't have to do this. And he's just like, then he opens the gate. I thought that was a cool ass touch. Literally, there's a random ass like NPC character who said that to him too.
Yeah.
I was like, literally, they did not have to animate
because the thing with Miyazaki movies is like, there's no such thing as a character that pops up in this movie, whether they're a background character or a main character, especially background characters or people that like don't talk that much. They are all characters. Nobody has like no face like when they're on screen. Everybody that you see in this movie feels real and they feel like a human being, you know? And those little touches make everything that you're watching feel human. When you watch, you know, a normal anime like Tokyo Revengers, it's like, oh, those are static images in the background. Those are people. No one's actually there, right? But when you watch this movie, you feel like when he goes into this city with all these people walking around and all this noise, it feels so real and authentic because for all intents and purposes, it is. He's drawing every one of them. He's making them have like facial expressions and they're doing things. He's putting a lot of thought into it. It's a very human movie. It's very sincere. That's how to describe this movie. It's very sincere. Yeah. That's
I'm watching the scene. I'm watching the scene right now.
Mm-hmm.
When when he walks up, there's a whole crowd. He just pushes him out the way. They all fall down.
Yeah.
And it's cool because like when he's walking up to them fighting, the fucking the gun girl is like looking at him walk up while fighting her. He's like, and I just noticed it now. It's cool as fuck. She's like,
yeah. I love how
it's so cool. Like it's no, like I don't see it. You don't see that.
Yeah. I know.
Oh man, that is a nice touch. I wish I noticed that.
Yeah, there's so many nice touches in the movie in general. I love.
It's so cool because hold on, I'm sorry, but
no, it's okay.
Like when they're like he's like stops both of them in their power struggle, like the wolf girls, they're like being erratic, like the gun girl's just like having a conversation, like while the wolf girl's like it's such a nice touch.
Yeah, this is
like,
why
she stays true. Like she's all like biting him and shit.
When you watch a movie like Princess Mononoke, a standard like that is like the standard that everything should be set to. Like once you see that, you know, once you see that movie, it's like, all right, if you want to make a movie, try to do that. You know, like try to make something where every single character feels like a character, right? Like you're not just looking at some random dipshit on screen that's like animated the same way that everybody else is. The person is literally animated differently because their character is different.
Yeah, and you know it's cool too with that. Like when they I think somewhere in the movie they say like she's human and she's like, no, I'm not human, I'm a wolf. Yeah. So, like it becomes more
clear.
You believe it when you see like touches like this, like in moments where she doesn't even have to act like a wolf. She's like still like it's so like in her character like that she's a wolf no matter what.
Right. And
like it just makes it more believable when she claims to be a wolf.
I feel that. They're amazing touches like that. Like that's good writing, you know? That's just good writing.
Good writing.
There's never an unnecessary moment. Everything has purpose, you know? Characters don't say shit just for the sake of saying shit. Everything has like a meaning and a purpose, and it adds to the film in an interesting way, you know? All of his movies do that. Like, they're all great. I agree.
Like,
we gotta talk about it again one day.
When I compare Mononoke to the other movies I watched, it's like I just couldn't stop. I couldn't look away. It was like, to me that really affects my rating. Like when it comes to like compared to this, like no Ghibli movie I've watched really captured me like this. The other movies that really captured me like this was probably like Redline.
Right.
You know? Or I was like, I couldn't stop. Like, you know?
Right.
And that's not to say like Howls didn't do that. But I felt like I was so like in the zone watching this movie. I was so like, I was looking for everything. I was looking for everything.
Right. You were there.
And like I said, when I missed this detail, I was like, fuck, I missed that. You know?
But that's good, Manny, because there's so much. When you're watching something, you're so invested to the point where you're not even paying attention to the details. Like you're just, because it flows together like water. It just comes together so well that like the details, I don't know. Like when you talk to me, you don't pay attention to like the way I move and the way I talk and like, oh, that's Ali, that Ali's an animated, because this is just how I'm going to be like at all times. And like, it's just a constant. And when you animate, when you take your fucking hands and you're like, I'm going to create characters. I'm going to create humans that have tics, that have emotions, that feel a certain way. It's very hard to do that and get people to be in the zone like that. Most things do not put you in the zone. This puts you in the zone, you know?
It does.
It's crazy, Manny. It's fucking crazy how Squid Game is a live action show with real people that are actually acting, and it doesn't put you in the zone like this one does. I feel like when I watch this fucking animated movie that's like not real, it feels more real than something like Squid Game, which has actors. Their acting is so fucking goofy in Squid Game. It's so over the top and silly.
It's over the top.
Yeah. I mean, and I guess that's the intention, but like, I don't know.
We already talked about Squid Game, but like I told you, like the main character is like he's always like like why are you making that face? Like why is he? He's like someone would tell him like it's like Baki. Baki does the same thing. Everything goes back to Baki, man. Everything goes back to Baki.
I'm surprised you didn't watch season 4.
Everything goes back to Baki. Baki is like
an example
Baki
that you use.
Animated, but fucking like Squid Game is like the girl's always looking dirty, always sweating, and like the dude is like,
yeah. And I want to make it clear. Some things are not trying to go for like realism. Some things are not trying to have human characters that you like deeply empathize with. Some things are intentionally trying to be silly and over the top and goofy. And Squid Game I criticize Squid Game because it's not trying to be that. Squid Game is trying to be like, it's trying to be like Princess Mononoke in the sense where it's like, these are human characters. And when we have an emotional moment where it's sad, we want you to feel sad. I can't feel sad because these characters talk like they're in a fucking cartoon. And the music like doesn't feel, it feels like music that like was, I can't even describe it. Making movies is hard as fuck. You have to be a god to like, when you make a movie, man, you're creating a universe. You're creating a fucking universe, you know? And when you don't have, and you can either just go through a checklist, right? Where it's just like, oh, we got to have a character do this, and we got to have this emotional beat, and we got to have a 3-act structure. You can feel when a movie is like a checklist movie and when it's like someone's creating a world movie. Princess Mononoke is a world movie. Squid Game is a checklist movie.
I see exactly what you mean.
Yeah. And that's something to appreciate about all of Miyazaki's movies. He's creating worlds. Yeah. And
man, I wish this movie was so fresh in my mind.
I'm so sorry that I watched it like so long ago.
Because I mean, I was supposed to watch it when you watched it.
Yeah, it's okay. Here's what we're gonna do for the next one. So,
I got one more thing to. I don't have to call in the weekends anymore because I'm about to start working night shift. So
okay. So we can call.
I can call on weekdays. I can call any day.
Okay, so when you
normally,
say,
because I would be asleep right now. I go to sleep at 10 if I was working morning, but now I work 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. So weekdays is all good now.
Weekdays in the morning.
No, at night.
So you work 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. on Saturday and Sunday.
No, on Monday through Friday.
So you can talk while you're at work?
No, like I'm saying, like after work. When I get off at 10 p.m., we can call at like 11.
Oh, because
like,
right, yeah, because you start so late. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
All right, bet. That actually works a lot.
That
works
so
well
it a little more flexible.
Yeah. Okay, so that actually makes things easier. So I'm sorry. I'm trying to think of like how we can like refine this schedule. We'll figure it out at the end of the call, but we will make sure that, is this like, I don't know, are these conversations like inevitable? Like, is there anything that we can do about it where like we can talk about it like right after we watch it or something like that? What I did for this is I watched Howl's Moving Castle and Princess Mononoke like right when I thought we were going to call. I was like, all right, I'm going to call Manny like in 2 days. So I'm going to watch them now. That's what I did for those, because I know that when it's fresh in my head, like I'll have more to say and stuff. So I guess I don't know if there's anything we can do about it, because sometimes you're just not going to take notes, and sometimes you're just going to watch it like right after the call from like 2 weeks ago, or mad early before the next call. I guess I don't know. I guess there's nothing we can do about it.
It's the inevitable.
The inevitable.
Like what Thanos said.
Yeah, Thanos was right. It's inevitable. I mean,
when I get out, when we go to theaters,
yeah,
we'll talk about it right there. I guess it'll be inevitable till then.
Yeah. Are you gonna go see the My Hero movie?
I might.
You might. You might not. You might not see it. It's okay if you don't want to.
Probably will. I like the last one.
Okay. Because I wanna decide like what the next 3 are. So if you will commit to seeing it, then I'll be like, all right, that's the one we're gonna talk about. But you don't have to. It's not necessary.
Next 3 for me, probably Arrietty, Star Wars, and that probably.
Okay. Cool. That'll be dope. Yeah. I was gonna. Fuck it. We'll figure it out. Let's not waste too much time on this. So I don't know. Is there anything else you want to say about Mononoke? It was. I mean, there's a lot that we have to say about Mononoke that we just can't right now because we got pea brains.
Yeah, fucking. We need to take fish oil for memory.
It's not even about memory, bro. It's just
Yeah.
I don't know everything that there is to say. Even if it was fresh in my mind, I wouldn't have a lot to say.
I was gonna say this. She looks so dope. Like,
yeah, oh it's called good character design. You know.
Yeah, it's rare in this genre.
Yeah, it's always good in Miyazaki joints. They put a lot of thought into it.
I fucking hate anime. I'm tired of
Oh, I love these sound bites. Oh, I love when you say shit like that because I can just cut that part and just have that in isolation, and it's so funny. Oh.
Dude, I hate anime. Like fucking with real life characters, I don't say they have bad character design. You can, but no one says that.
You can. You people do say it, and it is possible.
You can't say it's. You don't really hear it that often. It'll boil down to like what they wear.
Oh yeah, of course.
But
because that is, I mean, I guess that is character design, you know, essentially. Yeah. But yeah.
I'm tired of fucking Kirito's and fucking lame ass characters, dude. Everyone looks like Kirito. Like, they don't even try. Like that's the thing. Like these people, they get to a point where their show gets animated, and like it's not even like they don't even try to make them look any different from the norm. It's so weird. Like, why is it like that? It's like, are we running out of designs? I got some designs that are different shit, dude.
I think we are. I literally can't explain it, honestly. Like, I don't know why all these kind of shows exist. Like isekai. Like, I don't know why that's a genre, and I don't know why. I guess people just like the same shit, Manny. That's the only thing I can describe.
I feel, dude, it's the fucking the normies, bro. Like, I feel like they're able to pick out specific characters that look the same and be like, they look different. Maybe they have a different eye for the shit, because, bro, like, there's no way. Like, there's literally, like, every season, there's 3 Kiritos, minimum.
That's so valid.
And it's like Kirito wasn't even the first one. He's just like the most known basic character.
I think these things happen. I mean, okay, well, if we're gonna see things that way, right? Like, why are there so many cowboys, right? Like why are people with hats and like on a horse? That happens a lot, right? So it's a genre, and it's a genre that people like, and it fits that like category, right?
The thing is, it's not even about the genre. It can be any genre of anime. Are you talking about anime as a genre or like isekai?
Name me 3 different anime where people look like Kirito and they're different genres.
That's easy. There's a bunch of romances that look like him. There's isekais, and it's probably some high school fucking slice of life. If I looked at my list, I can probably.
When I say Kirito, I'm talking like, I don't know what. When you say Kirito looks like everybody else, I'm thinking his Sword Art Online design where he's like dressed up in his like garb and like shit. What are you talking about?
I'm talking about just like his face, hair, body type.
Yeah, he's basic anime boy. Anime. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, Aaron.
I mean, even same thing with like.
That's what I thought you were talking about with his clothes.
With his clothes, not particularly his clothes, but a lot of other shows do it with like the high school battle shows.
Yeah.
With the girls have no clothes on, the guys wearing full suits.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of those.
Manny, this is such a difficult thing to discern. I think you are. If you're just talking about the face, I don't know. It depends on your perspective, because you can look at all of anime and you can be like, all this shit looks the same. Why is this art style with like big eyes and like, you know, like why is the art style of anime like popular? You know, there's so many art styles that you could have in the world, and this is the one you choose to have for like an entire like medium, like basically, right? So you could argue that is like repetitive and like stupid, and everything looks the same in that sense. In the same way that you could argue that like, you know, characters dress the same in movies, and it looks like lame. It's, I don't know. It's a very nuanced conversation. I think I understand what you're saying, but it depends on like. It's more than just like the character design. It's also the character themselves and the series that they are part of. It's not that character design is repetitive. It's that series in general are repetitive. Not just within anime, but just within media in general, because everything is derivative. Everything is like based off of something else to some extent, or inspired by it in some way. And anime is just much more blunt. Anime is like, yep, I'm doing the same thing as this nigga. That's exactly. You know, Black Clover. It's the same shit. This is, you know, Kirito. It's like World of Warcraft, right? Like it's like that. It's part of that same field. Who's the first Kirito? Like, who's the first dude to dress up like a crazy anime, like, it's like, you know, like just people like Kirito and like Sword Art Online, and like I'm trying to think of other like generic character design shows like Vivi. I feel like Vivi kind of falls into the same pool. Where did that shit start? Like, who started that?
I don't know, but
if I went in the past and killed that guy,
let's take a look at this. Kirito number 1. Kirito number 2. Kirito number 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Like this, it goes like it literally can go on, and it will continue to go on each season. It's incredible. Like, this is what I mean too. Like this suit, like this is like in like is this type of like high school clothes for battle anime in high school. This is always the same thing. Like, yeah, it's always this suit. It's like,
well, that might just be regulation. That just might be what kids wear in school. You have to consider that.
Wait, what do you mean?
Like in Japan, that might be how they have to dress for like private school.
I know, but in this futuristic, that's true. But in this futuristic, because it's like in like for example, I don't know if you've seen the show called The War of Asterisk or some shit like that.
The War of Asterisk.
Or Asterisk something. I think that's what I'm talking about. Asterisk Wars.
Keep going. I'm gonna find it.
Like I do know they wear like, what's the word?
What?
It's like when people wear everyone's wearing the same clothes in school.
Private school.
Not private school.
Uniform.
School uniforms, like
Dress
they
code.
do that in Japan. That's true, but
yeah,
I don't know. And this like futuristic fantasy battle royale anime, like, anything. I don't know. Like,
yeah,
you can add some flair to it. Like, bro, like JoJo's in high school. Like Jotaro's in high school. Look at what he's wearing. You know,
he's wearing the same. He's wearing like the regulation.
But look at like the style of it. Like this.
Yeah, that's true.
It's completely different.
You have to also consider the style of JoJo artistically in general beyond just what they're wearing. Like JoJo looks so different in terms of like the builds and how like their muscles are like drawn and like how tall everybody is.
True, but
so,
like
yeah.
even you can put JoJo's suit in this basic anime show,
right?
It would stand out.
That's true. That you're exactly right about that. But let me ask you this.
Okay.
Do people care? Do normies care?
No. Do I care? Yes.
Yeah. I care.
Do
That's why when I look at a poster like Vivi, I go, Even that, like, the vampire show that you were talking about last season, I look at that and I'm like, okay. Like, you know, I see the exact same things. Where it's just like, And then but then it might work, but then you might have a situation where it's like ReZero, where it's like it's intentionally looking like these things because the story wants to elicit the expectations of a normal isekai, and then when it starts to do different things, it's like, oh, this isn't your dad's isekai.
Saying ReZero looks.
ReZero is intentionally trying to look like a generic, like, JRPG, like, oh, here's like a maid, here's a girl with cat ears, like a lot of tropes in like anime character design. ReZero intentionally invigorates into its art style because it's trying to make you think that the show is going to be one thing, and then when it turns into like this well-written, like, dark, like, creative, like, twist on like the genre, it's surprising because, you know, you didn't expect that based on how the characters are designed and how the world's designed, you know what I mean?
Regardless, like,
yeah, it depends.
ReZero still, like, is different. It looks different. Like, it
does look better.
Subaru looks like a different person. Like, his
tracksuit has personality.
There's a lot of characters in ReZero, and a lot of them look amazing.
Yeah. So like we're talking about like Kirito and, like, you know, JRPG futuristic like garbs, right? I think like Emilia from ReZero, I think like she dresses like the characters in Sword Art Online. That's what I'm saying, where it's like that's not too far off. But why do you look at a character like Emilia and you like her design more? Is it just because you like her character more and the show itself is good and the purpose for her character design is better?
I see what you mean exactly, but
yeah, I
think it's more for main characters.
Okay.
Because I don't look at Emilia and be like, she has incredible design.
Okay.
I mean, I don't say that. But
Subaru does have incredible. Subaru, in my opinion, for the purpose of the show, has great design. Because he doesn't. Because like, I don't know, his tracksuit. He looks unique, and it tells you who he is without you even having to hear him. Just looking at him, he's like, oh, it's just a normal, like, kid. And in the show, that sounds boring, but in the show, like, that's the point.
Hands up.
Yeah, like, that's the point of the story, that he's like a normal kid in this world, and it affects his character, and it shapes who he is. And that contrast of like, oh, I'm a normal kid wearing a fucking tracksuit, and I have a bag of ramen, compared to like what he does in the show, it's like it makes him cooler because it's like, oh, look how far he's come despite how lame he looks, you know?
Right. But, and another thing with these shows, I can give the side characters a pass.
Yeah.
But when it comes to like the main character, like with that whole list I showed you, if this is pulling up looking like that on the art cover, I'm passing.
I think here's what I think I figured
Wait,
out.
This is what I'm talking about though.
Okay.
Like look at this shit. It's Kirito 3.6.
Yeah.
Bro, you can tell.
Manny, I think I know what makes bad character design.
Hold on. I think I know what makes bad cover art. Let's take a look. Look at the background. Like, what is this?
It's fire.
It's like this fucking trash ass like fucking
3D
it's like
After Effects.
Oh my god, the character has some hidden dark power. Oh my god, he's gonna unlock on a final episode. Look at his fucking weak ass sword. Like, oh man.
I think I'm trying to think about how to describe this. It's purpose. That's what defines good character design. It's like what character design should tell you something about the character. It should define who they are and like what they're about and like what, you know, makes them who they are. The way their hair looks, the scars that they have on their face, the way they, you know, dress, you know, like Jotaro, like as an example, Jotaro, he has like a school outfit and he's like a kid, but he wears it open. So that shows that he's like a resilient, like, you know, defiant kid that doesn't wear his suit properly. And him wearing a suit like shows that he's also a kid. So like, like, you know, that has purpose.
Part 4 does it the best.
Mm-hmm.
What you're saying does it the best because I know you didn't watch it, so I'm not gonna spoil it, but you've seen.
I know how most of the people look, but I would prefer if you didn't, if you think that it's going to reveal anything.
You know how the main character looks. I'm gonna just talk about his design.
Okay, yeah.
Like,
the heart, the peace, and the heart. Oh, the shit is so gangster.
And like this is his face alone. Like you can tell he's a delinquent. That the pompadour is the delinquent hairstyle, especially back in the 90s. You can tell he's a delinquent, but he has the heart. Delinquent, but he has a heart of gold, and that shows throughout the story.
Yeah.
Part 4.
Manny, I'm watching it. I'm actually watching JoJo this month. Like I'm gonna like watch the whole thing. Like that's the next thing that I'm watching. So
listen, man, Part 4 blessed my eyes.
Yeah.
but here's another thing, like look at this one, right? You have this goat, right, looking all badass, right?
Ooh.
Look,
there is
look at him in these covers.
Man,
right?
Don't even get me started about the masterpiece that is Trigun's character design.
Let's look at this guy. Look at these pictures, right? These two right here, right?
Manny.
But then it gets juxtaposed with this picture. Ali,
Manny,
literally, like,
bro. I'm actually like legit asking you. Don't get me started on Trigun's character design. I'm gonna be here like all day if I start talking about that. Basically,
Ali, bro.
All right.
Look at this shit, bro. Like you would see, like Ali, this is incredible, right?
Yeah.
And then you watch the show, and then you realize, he's more of a Diz.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you realize, and then later in the show, you realize he is both.
Yes.
He can be both.
Yeah, and another, bro, I watched this amazing YouTube video of like talking about how good his character design is. And like they were saying in the video, like his hand being mechanical but being like a hidden component, it shows this side of him that like he can't control. Because when you see like mechanical things, you see like artificial and like out of control and like, you know, something that a human can't like curb, right? So when he has this, when his human hand that's something that every human can like control at will, distorts and fucking like turns into this giant robot gun, and he's like, no, stop it. Like that in and of itself is like a design aspect to him. Like that in and of itself is part of what defines his character, you know? And and you know what you're saying about like you know, oh, he looks like evil and like, you know, brooding and like not evil, but like he looks like a badass, and then you see him and he's like a nice guy. It's subversive. It's the same thing with like it tells you something, you draw a conclusion, and then that conclusion that you draw is part of what makes the show what it is and what makes your perspective of that character what it is, right?
Ali, it goes even deeper, because in the first episode, literally, he's sitting in the bar. He's sitting in the bar, just drinking, right?
Yeah.
People roll up outside with AKs. You know, they all shoot. They all like. Yeah. They start shooting up the bar. The whole bar rips open. Yeah. He's just sitting there by himself. He turns around. Yeah. And then it's like, in the first episode, it's like, who is Vash Stampede? Yeah. The bad guy in the episode is claiming to be Vash, the big fat guy. Right. And then Vash, they're like, watch out, Vash is coming. And Vash is like, I'm Vash. And then it's like, it's so cool because the first scene you see of him, he's like looking all badass. And then you go to like later on in the episode, he's like, he's all goofy and shit. Yeah, yeah. And someone else is pretending to be him, and he's like, who's the real Vash? Like, exactly. It's like, is this the badass Vash? Yeah, or is this goofy Vash? It's such. Trigun has one of the best first episodes. It's so unique. It gets you interested. I feel like a lot of people miss it. I definitely miss it. I think I watched an essay on it too, and I rewatched the episode. It's so sick. It's so different. Yeah. And it all goes back to his character design. You expect to see him and be like, this is the most badass person I've ever seen. Mm-hmm. And then he's all like, love and peace. Yeah, yeah, love. Yes. It's so dope, bro. When you are introducing a character one way, and then you have to convince the audience that the elements of that character are like that you thought or you saw initially are different later on, like you have to make sure that you balance that well. Like Trigun is, I guess I'll stop there. Like, cause I was going to compliment the writing and like why it's so good, but in regards to character design, you're right. Like that's why the character design is so good in Trigun. And you know, to get back to JoJo, every character is amazing in JoJo. Every single design, like of the side characters, even someone like Whole Horse, bro. When you first see Whole Horse, you think this nigga's like cool as fuck because he has a badass design, but he's fucking like he sucks. It's like, you know, he's stupid. He has like a silly power, and he's like a goofball. You know, the designs in JoJo. They get better as it goes. Like part five to me stands out as like the most like everyone looks so fucking cool in part 5. Yeah, everyone looks so fucking cool in part 5. I think it literally like part 3 looks better than 2-1. 4 looks better than 3 in my opinion. Then 5 is the best so far.
They up the ante. They get crazier in terms of character design. Part 1 is like Fist of the North Star in Britain. Mm-hmm. And then part 2 is like, it's like, I don't know. Part 2 is just like normal clothes. Like people still look cool because it's JoJo and regardless of what they're wearing. And then part 3, everybody looked like a fucking cartoon character. You got Polnareff with his giant hair. You got JoJo with his like, you know, very thoughtful design. You got Kakyoin with his green vest. Like, that just looks cool because he got Emerald Splash, so he wears green. It's like, bro, that's dope. That's awesome. All the stand users. I think to, you know, maybe conclude this conversation, unless you have more to say, it's about purpose. It's about what you're trying to say by designing your character. And some people don't have anything to say, Manny. When Asterisk War, when you have a fucking Kirito head ass nigga who has a fucking anime sword with a giant power, that's all it's saying. And that's not interesting because you've seen that so many times, and it's a trope, and it's a factory character design. You put it in a machine. You told an AI, make a character design, and an AI made a character design.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
And one more thing about Trigun is the opening, the OP of the show is all badass. It was like, and it's just him in cool poses.
Yeah.
And then
it's very subversive.
It's so amazing. I wish I can watch Trigun with my memory swipe, man.
Oh, bro, I'm gonna rewatch Cowboy Bebop, and I don't remember shit about Bebop, so I'm about to experience that. I don't even really remember shit about Trigun. No bullshit. I barely remember that show. Like,
really? I remember. I have a good memory of 12 to 24. I remember it a lot.
Yeah.
I remember some of 1 to, because 12 in like the story starts.
Mm-hmm.
I remember that good. I remember Cowboy Bebop good too.
Yeah, I remember it faintly enough to where if I were to rewatch it, it would feel like a new experience. Same with Princess Mononoke. I've seen Howl's Moving Castle too, but I haven't seen it in a while, and it hasn't been in my conscience to where like if I were to watch it again, it like would feel too familiar, So
man, I think we can. I love breaking down anime like this, but I think we should move on to House. But honestly, like literally, I can talk about character design. Honestly, I want to keep talking about character design, but we have a mission.
yeah, we do. I mean, I feel like I've said everything that I needed to say.
About Princess.
No, about character design, but also about Princess. I don't think there's anything else for honestly, that.
I was like amazing shows with amazing character design.
Right now?
No, I'm saying like if we kept this conversation going, like I'll just bring up good character. You know what you said earlier about you said characters having nicks.
Yeah.
And things that like only are special to them.
Yeah, like JoJo has like 2 belts. Like you don't even notice it, and then it's like, what the fuck?
Don't get me started on JoJo. But,
yeah.
JoJo's the best. Fucking, one thing about Vegeta, I never noticed, but after he fights Android 18 during the Android arc, and he gets his ass beat, Android 18 like breaks his arm, right? He like breaks his arm. She breaks his arm, and then till this day, like whenever Vegeta's like damaged in battle, he's still always holding the same arm that's broke like this. He's always like,
really?
It's such a cool touch, but no one knows that though.
Wow.
Like, whenever till like even in the last arc of the anime, whenever Vegeta's hurt, he's still holding the same broken elbow. It's not broken, but it's like he damages that same arm again. It's a cool touch because he didn't do it before Android 18.
Okay.
That's like one touch I really like about Vegeta.
Yeah.
But yeah,
that's really cool.
I feel like it is cool. I wanna see if I can start catching those more.
Character design?
Or like little like nicks like that.
Like nicks are cool. I love little nicks like that. Yeah, I'm Princess Mononoke. What do you ratings? You want to do ratings?
Is Princess which is
my rating? My rating is gonna change as time goes on. So like, the rating I give it now is probably not the rating I'll give it like the next time I watch it. I'll probably boost it up. But
for me, Mononoke is like it's good to casuals. And it's good to the tryhards.
Yes,
It's like the healthy balance.
It is a very healthy balance because if you're a casual, like you'll like the action, and the story is basic enough to where like you'll be able to derive value from it, even if you aren't like really sinking your teeth into it. So you're absolutely right, and those are the best kind of movies, in my opinion. Like, actually, no, I take that back. those are really good movies because they are putting a lot more on their plate than they bargained for, right? You can just go try hard, and you can make it only for people that are paying attention, or you can be like, all right, for people that aren't really going to invest a lot mentally, how can we make this fun for them? And he manages to do that. So, I mean, all these movies do, but you know.
You know, for me, Mononoke is so epic. It was epic all the way through.
Mm-hmm.
It was the whole God thing was cool. The board thing was cool.
Yeah.
The characters are cool. The wolf girl was amazing.
Yeah.
The cover art gives it a little boost. And, you know, I like, you know, when when the old dude was like the manipulator, he was like,
yeah,
you want to see a god. He said something along the lines like, yo, you want to see a god die?
Yeah.
And he said that, I was like, damn, is they really gonna do this shit?
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know, they go and then the god walks across on the puddle.
Yeah.
Well, not the lake. And then they shoot him. And then like he's like, and then nothing. And then he's like act like he's like unfazed and he continues to walk. I was thinking like, are they gonna? I was like, they just shot him. That's the most they could do, and nothing happened. So what's gonna happen now? So then at that point, I was like, I didn't know what the fuck was gonna happen.
Didn't they immediately after they shot him? Didn't the girl say like you have to shoot him in the? I don't know. I feel like she said something that was like explaining the rules a little bit. Like I feel like she said like I think they shot him like in the neck kinda, and then she was like you have to like shoot him in the head. I don't remember what she said, but she did say something that was like, oh, so you just did it wrong? Like you just shot like bad?
Did she shoot him or did someone else?
I think someone else did, but I also interpreted this, Manny. I think that the reason why he was able to die was because they shot him while he was transforming.
Yeah,
I think that's how I digested that. So
yeah. And you know, when I was watching, I didn't, you know, I seen enough Ghibli movies to know the kind of endings, what kind of happens, like how that, because I seen Howl's first.
Okay.
So I seen Howl's, then I seen Princess right after. Mm-hmm. Like, I seen those two in a row.
Yeah.
Off Howl's, I was like, I kind of knew where Princess was gonna end up going.
Yes. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But then they shot him. Even if they said something, I was like, what? I didn't know what was gonna happen next.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. You didn't know they were gonna succeed.
Yeah. Then they got him, and when they got him, I was like, damn.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, damn, that's fucking crazy.
Yeah, you were surprised. I think the fact that I saw it once kind of that it didn't impact me like nearly as much the second time in terms of like shock.
It did kind of shock me a little.
Yeah, to be honest, like I don't know. There are a lot of moments like a lot of his movies are very similar. Like Castle in the Sky, Nausicaä. They all have moments where it's like the thing's not gonna die. Like, you know, that's not what's gonna happen. This is like that's not gonna be. And then it does happen. It's like, holy shit. I feel like the dear God like dying at the end. There are equivalent moments in other movies where it's like you don't expect like something crazy like that to happen. So, you know.
Yeah, you know, I feel like already, 5 movies in, I feel like I have the formula from the Ghibli movies.
Mm-hmm.
At the same time,
for the Miyazaki ones at least.
Yeah, because did he do Cat Returns?
No.
Yeah, because you know that movie's completely different.
It is completely different. Yeah.
So,
I'm gonna look that up to confirm, but keep talking.
You know, everything is about war and shit. I feel like it is gonna get old.
He has his war movies, and then he has his family movies like Totoro, and he has a couple of those. So like, he likes planes, he hates war, and he likes family. So
I don't know. I feel like I've seen the war thing is kind of getting like overused.
Mm-hmm. That's fair. That's completely fair.
And you know, it's funny because I already know there's a lot more war coming. You know,
I mean,
the real war movie I'm looking forward to is Grave of the Fireflies, because I know that is like
that's not even him. That's a different guy.
Else?
That's that's not Miyazaki. So that one's gonna be like better. Because if it was Miyazaki, it would be the same shit that this movie is. So I'm looking forward to that because that's different.
You never watched it?
No, I've never seen it. No.
I feel like that's gonna be like depressing as fuck. And I can't wait to watch it.
Yeah, me too.
I feel like that's probably gonna
surpass.
I'm guessing it might surpass. I don't want to like have too high expectations, but
right.
Out of the war movies, I don't know. I like Princess more than Howl's, me personally.
Okay. I'm looking at his filmography right now. Castle in the Sky is a war movie. That's it. That's like the only other one. I haven't seen The Wind Rises. So The Wind Rises, that might be a war movie. I don't know. But
what about the big one, Porco Rosso?
I don't know anything about that. I think that's
him too, because it's all that flying shit.
Yeah, there's flying, and I think there's like shooting while they're flying. So maybe it is a little bit war. It's not war in the same way that Princess Mononoke and Howl's Moving Castle is war. Yeah. This nigga's not out here in the middle of a war zone like kicking ass. Like that's not gonna happen. But it'll probably be like about war a little bit. So yeah, Miyazaki.
So he did Nausicaä, Howl's, Princess, and
Totoro.
Castle in the Sky.
Yep, and Totoro. Do you want me to name all of them?
Those are just the war ones, right?
The war ones are Howl's Moving Castle, Princess Mononoke, Castle in the Sky, and Nausicaä.
Howl's. Did you do Howl's?
Yeah, that was the first one I said.
Oh.
Nausicaä, Princess Mononoke, Howl, and Castle in the Sky.
I don't know. Especially because I watched Howl's.
Yeah.
And I watched Princess right after it, and then I watched Nausicaä.
See, I think that's why I like Howl's more, because I watched Princess first, and I was like, I get it. So like, and I've also seen Princess Mononoke, and then when I watch Howl's, I'm like, oh, this is Princess Mononoke, but with a love story, like as well. And that was just a twist that I liked a lot, you know. And it's so crazy because Howl is like the same movie, but it's about a love story, and there's like actual like wizards, and there's so much more to Howl than Princess Mononoke to me personally. It's like he took Princess Mononoke and he's like, I'm gonna add this and this and this to it. That's how it felt while I was watching it.
I feel like it really depends on what you watch first.
Yeah, it really was that kind of thing.
Yeah, but Howl's definitely like, very like fantasy like.
Right.
But
yeah.
Like, I like Princess Mononoke is like, it just feels real.
Raw.
It feels it feels like fucking real life. I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah, that's good. I'm glad you liked it. I just explained it. I feel like the other Ghibli movies that I have seen, Castle in the Sky, also, and Howl's Moving Castle, I feel like they do a lot more than Princess Mononoke. I feel like they have a lot more things going on. I feel like the stories are more than just like war is bad. This one is legit like war is bad, and that's the whole movie. Castle in the Sky isn't that, and Howl's Moving Castle isn't that, and that's kind of all this movie is. And because you're right, maybe it's just because I saw those movies first, but that's just how I feel about Princess Mononoke, and that's why I feel like it's lower on the totem pole for my Ghibli movies. And right now it's dancing between a 7 and an 8, and I don't know, it might go up. It's not gonna go under a 7, like it's at least a 7, but it might go all the way up to like a 10 in the future. Like it literally has that possibility for me. Like I don't even have a definitive like feeling on this movie. So I don't know. It's a 7 or an 8. Let's say 7.
I'm gonna get an 8 from me.
Gotcha. I'm gonna give it a 7 for now. I don't get nearly as much from this movie as I do from the other ones in any aspect. Also, one thing I love about the other Ghibli movies is they jump around a lot and they feel a lot larger scale. Princess Mononoke it really felt like they were just like in this one area the whole movie. It's like the forest and like the little base, and they talk about all these other places, but they don't actually go to any other places, you know. And Howl's Moving Castle, they're jumping around the fucking world in that movie. They're going all over the place. You're getting a good idea of what the entire world is like in 2 hours. I feel like I watched a whole fucking TV show like by the end of it. And I felt the same way about Nausicaä, honestly.
The thing is the Princess Mononoke, is that like, because I know Howl's Moving Castle is a book.
I watched video essays and I did like research, and Howl's Moving Castle, it is based on a book, but it's also very different to the point where I think in terms of the world, it basically is the book. Like he took the general concept of like how Howl is a wizard and stuff. And yeah, Howl's Moving Castle is a book. Howl's Moving Castle is one of the only, I think it's the only thing that Miyazaki based on something else that like wasn't like his own thing entirely. You know what I mean?
I don't know. I feel like.
So why did you ask that though? Like,
I don't know. I feel like I can't give him as much credit as he gave from got it from the book. That doesn't take away from his the direction.
He changed a lot. Like
I don't think he did.
He did. From what I looked up, like it's nothing like the book. Like the conflicts are different. There's no war in the book, to my knowledge.
Yeah, it's Hayao Miyazaki, war.
Yeah, but you're saying it's like the book, and like that is a huge element of this movie.
I think the basic plot is like pretty much the same other than the war. I'm gonna go look at this. I think I saw it.
He changed enough to where there is a lot of credit to be owed.
Word of Howl. No. Castle in the Air? What the fuck is that?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I was watching a video essay. Who knows how reliable the person I was watching was, but I don't know. The way he explained it, he was saying that he was saying the differences on how like Howl's character isn't even the same at all, and like how there was no war and stuff. I think there were whole characters that weren't even in the book. I give him a lot of credit for Howl's Moving Castle. So we're on that right now, right? We're basically doing that.
Yeah.
Okay. Howl's Moving Castle. Clap. I guess we can take time to look up these differences.
Hold on.
While the movie version of Howl is constantly fighting off in a war, in the book, that war doesn't exist at all. Howl actually spends most of his time in the book avoiding things like wars, and if one popped up, he'd run away from it for sure.
I guess the whole Calcifer part and the girl turning into the old lady and I don't know.
He changed a lot.
I wouldn't say a lot.
Okay.
It is what it is. Obviously doesn't take away from his direction.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not trying to shut Howl, don't get me wrong.
Yeah. In my opinion, what he changed, it's so unique to the movie that like it's exclusive. You also take into account this is a 2-hour movie compared to like a whole book, and it's not like he even followed, because of all the shit with the war, he didn't even follow the basic plot of the book, really. Like he basically, like the war is so woven into the story of this movie and Howl's character. Like that's enough of like validation for me to say that like, it's like his story, right? Because I don't know, like he is always trying to say something with his stories, and I think it's I think it would be weird to say that Howl is less of his narrative than like Princess Mononoke. I mean, I guess in a sense it is, because like he didn't come up with a lot of the tangential like magical elements, but yeah. What are you reading right now?
Who's reading the plot?
Take your time.
Nah, I think I got. To me, pretty similar.
Okay.
The ending is pretty similar too. Regardless, Howls.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think Howls is like the 4th highest selling movie, animated movie. Something, it's up there. Howls was super successful when it came out.
Yeah.
I think it was like, in terms of like budget,
Mm-hmm.
how much they made, it's like one of the highest ever. Oh shit, fuck.
Highest grossing anime films worldwide. Howl's Moving Castle, number 4.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you have to take into account, I think Spirited Away came out before Howl's. Yeah, Spirited Away was like a massive success, and everyone was like people who don't even like anime like Spirited Away, and then they're like, yo, the same nigga came out with like a new movie. And you also have to acknowledge the way that these movies were promoted in America. Disney got the rights for Studio Ghibli. So when these movies came out in Japan, like they would come out in English with like voice actors and like Disney's marketing team, you know? So like there was a lot to push these movies to like be successful. And especially since it came out after fucking Spirited Away, like of course this movie is going to be a success. And it's like it's like, I don't know, it probably was promoted as like more epic and grand than Spirited Away. I imagine if I saw Spirited Away and then I saw the trailer for this, I'd fucking go see that shit in a heartbeat. It looks so fun. There's like so many characters. There's a bunch of magic and shit. Still looking up stuff?
The Secret World of Variety is 10. That's cool. Princess Mononoke is 8.
Yeah, I saw that shit in theaters when I was a kid. I didn't even I just thought it looked cool. I was like, whoa, this looked different. I didn't even know what anime was at the time.
The Cat Returns 36. Let's go. The Cat Returns did more than Kira. It's interesting. And fucking Dragon Ball Z. But let's get into Howls.
Yeah. Howl.
Howls.
I loved it. I fucking loved this goddamn movie. It was I enjoyed it a lot. Did you talk to me. It's okay.
Dude. I feel like the ending was like worse than fucking. I don't know. I didn't like the ending.
It's like the same ending. It's like the same thing as
It was like, I feel like it was like double. Like it was like really rushed. Like again.
Really? You think it's worse than You think it's worse than Princess Mononoke?
I think it was like, I don't know. Princess Mononoke was like okay, but this one was like it was like.
What do you consider what the fuck about it?
I didn't even like fucking remember. I remember she was just like she started kissing everyone. I don't know, dude. I don't know.
Okay.
Oh man, you know.
She loved her family.
Huh?
She loved her family.
Miyazaki with another family one.
Come on, cut the nigga some slack. He's repetitive, but he does them well.
I feel like House is like it was so not compelling to me. Okay. I kind of got bored.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn. Holy shit. That's so surprising to me.
But it's like it wasn't even. I don't even think it was bad though.
That's okay. That's completely understandable.
I would give it like it's in like the 7.
Yeah, it's not a bad movie, but you're just not.
It's not Graduated.
Mm-hmm.
I feel
it didn't do anything bad. You just didn't care.
Yeah.
It wasn't the movie's like fault. It was just like you just weren't into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's okay. I think I might have felt similar on the first viewing. Once again, it's my second watch, so like I kind of knew what I was getting into.
One thing that stands out to me is the setting. It's like the city looks so cool.
Yes, bro. He scouted in foreign countries for this movie.
Yeah, I think it was Sweden.
Mm-hmm.
Or Iceland.
Yeah.
Something like that.
A bunch of places. There's so many places in this movie. The castle, like inside the castle, like the room that they're in, like every day. There's so much detail in it. It's so rich. I want to live in that fucking room. Like even no matter how dirty it is, like I feel like I'm there. I feel like I'm in it. Yeah. I don't know. The way you talk about Princess Mononoke is the way I feel about this movie.
Yeah, no, like polar opposites.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't really.
You don't have anything to say?
What to say?
Yeah, that's okay.
She went back in time.
Mm-hmm.
She went back in time and saw Howl and how he met Calcifer, right?
Yeah.
What?
I guess. I don't fully understand that.
What significance did that have? Like, what changed after that? Because she went back in time, came back. Howls is just standing right there in front of her. He's like, "Oh, Howls, was I too late?"
Mm-hmm.
And then like hops on Howls back and just fly to the rest of the family. Like, what was the whole point of the back? Like, I must have missed it. I'm hoping you can tell me, literally. What was the point of that? Going back in time.
Why did she go there initially? Because there was a reason why she went through the gate. I don't remember. Do you remember why she went through the gate initially?
I don't know.
I think it was I'm not entirely sure because that was confusing to me as well because she said it as if like they could hear her and like that if she like changed the past or something it would like do something. Like she talked to them and they noticed her. So it was like, huh? Because when you first see the Black Worlds and it's like his forest, you kind of assume like, oh, this is just a place on Earth. And then they insinuate that it was in the past or like something, or it's like a magical fantasy place that doesn't exist within the realm of reality that he created, like his own space that's like private. So maybe as a result of that, his memories or like remnants of like his past were like seeped into the place, like because it was like a magical area. And I honestly in the moment was just like, this is important context in order for the ending to make sense. Like you needed to understand how he made the deal with Calcifer and how Calcifer was like a star or whatever that thing was before, and like how he sacrificed like a piece of his heart or whatever. And I think it was just showing you that like visually to be like, when she kisses him at the end, like this is what's happening, like what happened in the flashback. And I don't know if I'm right about that because she talks to him and then he responds like to her by looking at her, and they acted as if that had significance. Like they focused on that. She was like, I don't remember what she said.
She said, "Find me in the future."
Yeah.
This Redditor. But
okay, that's okay.
Nah, this dude on Reddit said. Actually, this is a nice touch. He said before she leaves, she tells Howl, find her in the future. In the beginning of the movie, when Sophie first meets Howl, Howard saves her from those fucking soldiers and says, "There you are, sweetheart. Sorry I'm late. I've been looking everywhere for you." So I guess when he responded, I guess he kept that in his head this whole growing up and then found her.
Yeah.
But they didn't even like. What does that even like? Does that change anything though?
I guess the movie was saying that Howl knew it was her the whole time, and like he understood her significance like to him, and that's why he let her stay? Maybe that's what it was saying.
I feel like you can tell that he knew it was her, but even if she turned old, right?
Well, when he saw her, she wasn't even like. When he saw her in the flashback, she was.
She was young, but had the white hair.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, like, you know how Howl never brought up that he knew. Forget the flashback. Right?
Okay.
He never said, "Oh, you're the young girl that turned old," right? He just knew, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you think the movie's telling you that he knows?
Through that flashback?
No. Before the flashback.
Well, he sees her when she's young at one point. And the movie makes it clear that he can tell when people are like under curses and stuff. So they never explicitly say it like outright, but there's like an implication that he might like they do say it in the sense where like she's asleep, and when she's asleep, she's her young self, and he like sees her when she's like asleep, and it's like, oh, like that's the young girl.
But I'm saying even before that.
Even before that? Well, he sees her when she's young.
No, I'm saying like do you think the movie is trying to tell you, the viewer, that he knows by just the way he's acting?
No. The line that you read from the Redditor, the way that was articulated in the movie was, I'm saying this to distract the guards so that forget the Redditor, because that has to do with the ending. I'm saying like before that. No.
I'm talking like you don't think the movie's trying to tell you that?
Not at all. Because the ending.
You didn't think that either?
No, because the ending wouldn't be a surprise if that was the case, you know?
Really? You couldn't tell. I thought that was like obvious.
Really?
Yeah.
Because the way the film articulates that he's like a fuck boy, so I thought he was just kind of like doing it again.
But why would he tag along with this old lady if he's a fuck boy?
Oh, you mean like when she like is in his house? I mean,
I know it's like he wants her to be a maid, right? But
well, they never established that he isn't like a friendly person. So like when she walks in there and he doesn't care like for her to stay, I wasn't fazed by that because I didn't understand what his character would do in that situation. Like it wasn't subversive to me for him to be like, "Oh, you can stay," because I don't know, like
I'm just trying to see your perspective. Like, so you saying the movie isn't trying to tell you that he knows it's her, not from the flashbacks, just from being old and young.
I'm saying no. I think the movie.
You didn't know first viewing either.
No, definitely not on the first viewing. I'm really interpreting the whole thing as, well, if we're talking about when she's a grandma and she like walks in, not at all. Like, what did he do to make you think that?
I don't know. I feel like he was looking at her.
Really?
In some way. I feel like I knew already.
Yeah, I didn't get that at all.
This is the thing we had with another movie where it's like, with Ride Your Wave, it's like, is the movie trying to tell you that she knows that's him?
Yeah.
Or this isn't even like, it really doesn't even change the movie.
It doesn't.
I just want to see it.
Yeah, I understand. The way he treated that character was not explicitly different than the way he treated the other characters in his house. So I didn't really get the impression that like he saw her as more significant. Like usually in an anime or something like that, like what you're saying, like, oh, he looks at her, there'll be a shot of him like staring at her and his hair puffs up or something, like, oh, it's the girl. Like that didn't happen at all, you know? He acted very casual with her. So I didn't get that impression.
I don't know. I feel like I knew he knew from the start.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah. That's cool. I don't know. Maybe that's the intended reaction. Who knows?
I'm gonna call up Miyazaki right now.
Leave me alone. I'm thinking about war.
This dude has nightmares every day, bro.
He legit does. Like, he hates life. He was picking trash. he was picking trash on the side of the street, and someone was like, what are your thoughts on Demon Slayer? He's like, shut the fuck up.
Wait.
I don't know if this is true, but I saw a meme of him like picking up trash, and then like a news article, like the headline of the news article was like, someone asked him, I don't know, it was on Twitter. It was like someone asked him like, yo, what do you think about Demon Slayer? And he's like, the pollution in the world is like destroying the planet. Like, leave me alone. It was really funny. I'm sorry if you know, you don't have anything to say about it, and
I don't know. It was like,
I thought it was so well executed. I thought for like a magical setting, when you do a magical setting like this, Manny, the way you communicate how the magic works and how the world operates is very important. You can either do it like Harry Potter, where you just one by one, here's what a wand does, here's how people fly, nobody knows anything about this. The way they communicate in this movie is done so well to where like it's organic without feeling unnatural, but it's delivered in a way where you're learning more and more every single time, because you don't really know anything about like anything that's going on, and that really added a lot for me. And the elements that they added were all interesting. Like, you hear that Howl is kind of like a wizard, and you see the castle. You see the castle, and then you see these normal houses, and you see everyone's living normal lives. And then you see this nigga fly, and he's the only guy that flies. It's not like there's a bunch of other people flying. He's the only nigga that flies. And then you see the goo people, and it's like, where the fuck do they come from? What do they have to do? Are these the only two people like this? And then when you hear there's more people like this, and you go into his house, and there's like a guy that says he's a demon, and then you have a little kid that's like, you know, transforming into like, you know, like an old man, like kind of thing. The way they introduce all these elements and all these, you know, little nicks to this world, makes it so rich and alive, and it makes this movie feel like a world that has rules and has things that are different than ours, but very authentic and real and genuine. And that was one of the biggest things about it for me. That's one of the parts I loved about it. How did you feel about any of that? Just disinterest? It's okay. Talk to me. Tell me your negative things.
I don't know what to say.
We don't have to talk about it if you don't have anything to say.
I don't know what to say. Like,
that's okay.
I don't know. It is magical. It's not. It is. You know. I think the best character in this movie was the fucking Scarecrow.
Really? You didn't like the fire? Like, you didn't think that guy was funny?
Casper was funny.
Did you think you didn't think the witch was like? There's so much to her character. She was not only was she funny. Yes. Yeah.
The witch of waste.
Yeah, that one. Okay. There's so much to her character. You didn't like her at all? You didn't think she was funny?
No.
Okay.
Is it funny when she got tired walking upstairs? Like, aren't you a witch? Why can you like broom up the fucking stairs? Like,
what? No, they said that the stairs like blocked their magic. Yeah.
Pretty fucking stupid.
Damn. Fuck.
Dude,
you don't even have.
I don't know. Like, I feel like I should say something.
You don't even have negative things to say, like reasons why you don't like it. We can just move on to Nausicaä. Do you want to do that?
I don't feel like it's fair to move on. I feel like you have more to say. I
mean, I like it. I mean, do you want to hear what I have to say? I don't know. I don't want to say things that just
keep going.
Whatever. I mean,
maybe you can make me like the movie more.
Okay. I mean, I can attempt to. Well, the one thing that I really did appreciate about it was its world and how it delivered that information. It made me think about like Harry Potter a lot, and just any other like world with magical elements like woven into it, as if it like is organic and stuff. And the way it delivered all of the information of like how the characters operate in it, how the war and like the effect that it has on the society that is in it, without necessarily having an entire scene where it's like, oh, this is the exposition dump for the war. They don't do that. They show you like the flag and like, the military people like walking by, and you can immediately tell just by looking at that shot or looking at just what's happening in the background, and this movie does a lot of things. It communicates a lot of things to the audience that the audience needs to understand without actually directly saying it. And that's really important when you're a filmmaker. You need to be able to build your world in 2 hours without building it in a boring way. And this movie builds it in a really fun way. It delivers all of these tiny little knickknacks to you in pieces in a way where they never get boring and they never get stale, and they're always fun. That's why I love this movie in terms of like how they jump between places. They go to the palace, they go to the fucking random city that they sell like food at or something. They're globetrotting, and it's very good world building throughout the entire movie. And I'm surprised you don't like any of the characters, because I think all the characters, even the kid, like all feel very authentic and very real. And the Witch of the Waste,
I like Howl.
Yeah, I thought Howl was great.
But I feel like the main girl, I feel like it was cool that she turned to old lady. That's different.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. What I really like, what is the best part of the movie to me is whenever she turns young again.
Yeah.
She's blissful with fucking love and shit. I feel like whenever she turned young.
Yeah.
That's what really caught my attention. That's when this movie became more interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Because when she turned young again.
Yeah.
That's what made me pay attention.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I'd watch, but when she turned young, I paid like even like closer attention.
Yeah.
Right.
I agree.
And it all ties into the love and stuff, and even scenes where like you don't even like think any like romance, love things going on. You just see her getting like younger.
Yes, exactly.
And you just see her like falling in love.
Yeah, and you notice it.
I think that's the best part of that is the best part of the movie to me.
Mm-hmm.
Even the dream sequence.
Right.
It was super cool.
And they don't even explicitly communicate to the audience like, oh, the cure to her curse is love, right?
That's
so
the
like
best part.
they say in the movie like that they don't know. They don't even tell you. The Witch of the Waste, you don't know that there isn't a cure until like halfway through the movie, when the witch tells her like on the stairs like, oh, I don't really know how to cure you. I know how to give curses, but I don't know how to remove them. So like you're piecing it together in your mind. And that's what I'm saying about how this movie delivers information. It shows her getting younger, and you're like, what? Is she younger right now? And like your eyes are like deceiving you, because it's like you don't even notice, and the movie doesn't like make a point to like, it doesn't emphasize it at all. It doesn't like have a close-up shot of her like de-aging when she says something, until like later on in the movie. But in the beginning, it doesn't do that. And that's what I love about this movie. Like it keeps you invested in that way. And I love how this movie affects the other characters when it comes to how their magic works. The Witch of the Waste is this old fucking like, lady that has been using magic to give herself like a voluptuous appearance. And then when all of her magic is removed and she like is, fucking de-aging like husk of a human being, you see that like by the end when she like walks up the stairs, and how it's like, and I just love that, because you don't know that when that happens in the movie. You are not communicated to as a viewer as to like how her magic like entirely operates and like what entails, like how fickle they are. You don't know how fickle like a magic like that can be, and seeing how it affects her is really cool. And they talk about how the other wizards are like consumed by magic, so they literally just become animals. Howl is like a bird and he can transform into a bird, but the other people that he fights are people that are so consumed by the magic that they've used that they just turned into monsters like completely. And Howl is like on the brink of doing that himself, and that in and of itself is really interesting. The way magic with all the other characters is used is very, very cool to me. So, you know, you say that was interesting about the girl character. I thought that shit was interesting about every character because every character was like the girl character. Her thing was that she got younger when she fell in love, and Howl's thing is that he's slowly like turning into like a monster, and Howl is the same thing as the witch, bro. He's the same thing as the witch where like he tries to look sexy and hot because he thinks like that's all that matters, right? So when he freaks out like, "Oh, you fucking dyed my hair wrong," and he like gets upset, he like starts melting because he's losing his composure. And that in and of itself was cool to me because that in and of itself is a reveal on how Howl's magic works, and that this character that you thought was just walking around chilling was actually using magic the whole fucking time. So it's like, it's a double like purpose. It shows you that this nigga's a fucking G and he has his magic on at all fucking times, like the whole time. And it shows you that he's an emotionally like fickle person that cares a lot about his appearance and like how people see him, and he doesn't want like the bird aspect of him to come out, right? So, you know, we talk about character design, and like that's like a part of it. The bird part of him is like his dark aspect that he keeps sealed away because it's a representation of his anger, in the same way that the representation of the dude's anger in Princess Mononoke is like the curse on his arm. It's the same thing with Howl. It's like the same. There's literally like a scene where like he uses his hand and it turns into like the bird hand, like when he wants to like use some magic that like fucks up his ship. And you know, it was like the same thing from Princess Mononoke. So I thought there was a lot to appreciate in that sense. And that was like the one thing that I liked about it. And I could go on, but you know, I mean, talk to me about specific things if you want. If you want to move on, we can. I don't want to like, I can talk about this in any other context. This isn't the only time I can like speak on this movie. So, I don't want to go too hard in the paint. If you don't want to hear it.
No, continue.
All right. Well, you said you didn't like the ending, and I like this ending more than Princess Mononoke's ending because it makes more sense to me. I'm more convinced that the characters in this movie, not only am I convinced that the characters in this movie change their opinions, who change their opinions actually have their opinions changed, and I don't go, what the fuck? I go like, oh, that's so sweet. And that like, I'm so happy that happened. The reason why the girl, the gun lady in Princess Mononoke changes her opinion is because of Ashitaka's influence on her. And the reason why the leader of the kingdom, the woman, like whoever she was, like the grandma with the staff that was sitting in the chair, the reason why she decides to stop the war at the end of the movie is because, you know, Howl has a lot of influence on her. And the thing that happened to Howl at the end of the movie, when she sees that like they have a big happy family, she's like, you know what? Like, you know, if Howl can be happy and like he can go on like that positive journey with him and like that girl that loved him so much, like there's no reason like why this war needs to happen. Like that made a lot more sense to me because she experienced firsthand some of the like most emotionally resonant moments in the movie. When the girl was talking about how much she loves Howl, like, and then she like just immediately turned like mad young because like while she was there when she was supposed to be in disguise as his mom, like, you know, that resonated with the character. Like she remembered that, and that played into her decision in the ending. And you know, I didn't feel that way a lot about Princess Mononoke, like about the times where, you know, Ashitaka was talking to the gun lady, because there was never a moment like that strong where it was like, yo, like you really should follow like Love and Peace. Like you're being like ignorant, you know? I felt that with Howl's Moving Castle. I felt that I was convinced that the character did have a change in philosophy because there were things that she witnessed that would change someone's perspective. And I love how the theme of love is consistent with every single character. You know, Calcifer comes back, even though the entire movie he was saying that he didn't want to be attached to Howl, and then he comes back regardless just because he loves him so much. The tulip guy, you don't know that he's like a prince, and then she kisses him, and you know he was being nice to her the whole time, and her like kindness that she gave back to him like set him free of his curse. Love is like the theme of this movie, and I was invested in that theme throughout, and it capitalizes on that message with many different characters in many different ways that are going through many different individual stories. You know, the Witch of the Waste is like jealous, and the leader of the kingdom is like cynical and pessimistic, and you know she has a negative. She's like the gun lady, right? Like she thinks like this is just what has to be done, and then you have a character like the Scarecrow who you know, despite what happened to him, is going out of his way to be kind. You have Calcifer. When I say that I like this more than Princess Mononoke, what I'm saying is that this movie does more. It's so similar to Princess Mononoke in so many ways, but it just has more going on. There's more characters. They're all more different in a way that I like it. It's doing a relationship like story and a family story about love while simultaneously being like a war movie. And it's like the amalgamation of everything this nigga has been making for like 20 years, bro. It's like Nausicaä, Castle in the Sky, Spirited Away. It's like the perfect mix of his family shit and his war shit. And he manages to say what he says in his war movies and in his family movies at the same time. And that's godlike in my opinion. And those are that's the short version of what I have to say. We don't have to go beyond that. I feel like I said my general thoughts. And also what I know about Miyazaki now after watching like some video essays and doing more research about like, you know, this movie is like the time it came out was very evident of like, you know, the way he was acting at the time. When Spirited Away won like the Oscar for Best Animated Feature, he wasn't there to accept it because he didn't want to go to a country that was like bombing Iraq. And it's like that's so telling of his character when you watch like this movie. And because of those real life details about his personality and his opinions, that adds context to all of his movies that changes my perspective on life. And knowing that he was a kid that had to like move. He lived in the city that got bombed like by America like a year before it got bombed, and he moved. Like not because they were afraid they would get bombed, just by chance. And like so the way the war impacted him is so interesting to me when I watch his movies because it feels very personal and very sincere because I know his values. And he's been very vocal about his values and what he thinks. And it's just cool. It's cool to see that expressed in this movie. And I think it's executed very well. And, you know, that's why when you say that he took it a lot from a book, that's why like I disagree because there's so I feel like he really is doing his own thing. Even if the general plot is the same without the war even, it is so Miyazaki. Like it's so him. Yeah. I don't know if there's anything else I got. I'll look at the few notes that I have, but I think we can end there. I think that's all I got. If you got anything to say, feel free to let it out.
Like I said, I only had negatives with the movie, but I don't know. I didn't find it interesting.
That's okay. I appreciate your honesty, and I appreciate you listening to what I had to say.
Even, everything, and I honestly like a lot of everything you said definitely like makes sense. Mm-hmm. But
and
I didn't.
Bro, when I watched it the first time, it like didn't I didn't care at all. Like I was not blown away. I wasn't like fascinated. I was just like, all right, it's another Ghibli joint. Had less action. Like that's like that was honestly my takeaway. And I don't know. I just have a new perspective now. I watched Princess Mononoke first. So, I also kind of like I went into it kind of wanting more than that. And I saw both of these movies before. So like I was more enthusiastic to watch Howl's Moving Castle again because I didn't like that one as much as Princess Mononoke. And I was like, I didn't like it as much, but like I knew it wasn't bad. It wasn't one of those things where I was like, this movie sucked. It was one of those things where I was like, maybe I was just young and I didn't get it. So this time I just kind of was like, let me try and get it. And I got it. Like I understood what he was trying to say and what he was trying to do. And I don't know. It was one of the, I think if I watched this for the first time, I wouldn't give it as much praise as I am right now. I don't think it would resonate with me as much. Maybe I'd be in the same camp as you where I'm just like indifferent and I'm just like, yeah, it's not bad. Like, it's so funny that you feel that way because that's how I feel towards Mononoke kind of. I'm like, yeah, this is an amazing movie. I just don't care like that much. Yeah. So, it's good that we have the inverse.
We always do.
Yeah, I know. It's pretty common. So, You want to do ratings? Move on to Nausicaä.
It's in the 7s.
Yeah, that's cool. I gave Princess Mononoke a 7, and I'm gonna give Howl's Moving Castle a 9 out of 10. I think it was fucking awesome.
What makes it not a masterpiece for a 10? That is a hard question to answer.
What do you? That's a really that's a loaded question, bro. Like I said, a movie. The way I do my ratings is I go up from a 5. So I don't give my ratings dependent on like, oh, this movie didn't have this, so it's not a 10. It's just kind of dependent on like my gauge of like, do I think that there's something that can top this? And in my opinion, there's a lot of things that can top Howl's Moving Castle. I love this movie, but I think that there are movies that I would call a masterpiece more than I call this one a masterpiece. Like, I mean, I don't know. What do you define as masterpiece? Because if we're talking about execution and like what makes a movie good, and if a movie like executes itself very well and it resonates with you, I guess it is a masterpiece. But there are movies that I think I'd appreciate and enjoy more than this. I guess that's my answer to your question. Like, what makes this not a 10? There are other movies that I think are more 10-like than this movie.
What did you say? The last thing you said?
There are other things that are more 10 level than this movie. Like, there are movies that I've given a 10, I consider like to be on a higher level than like things that are a 9. To be on like a level that this movie doesn't even, touch. Like, I don't know. I would give like, Devilman and Ping Pong a 10. And I don't think this movie is doing enough to be as good as those for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
all about what you're aiming for. And if you do what you're aiming for very well, that's great. But it doesn't necessarily mean you'll be the best of all time. You know what I mean? You might be a 10 out of 10 for what you're trying to do, but you're not necessarily a 10 out of 10 on the spectrum of film as a medium. Do I think Howl's Moving Castle is one of the best movies ever made? No. Do I think it's an amazing movie that's up there? Yeah. So, yeah. And who knows? Like, this movie is capable of turning into a 10. Like, with time, if I appreciate it more and notice more details, it could be a 10. It's on that edge for me.
Yeah.
But it's a 9 for now.
Yeah, I wish I had more to say. Like,
it's okay. It's okay. I appreciate you, letting me talk about what I had to talk about. And do you feel like you have a lot to say about Nausicaä?
I really don't, to be honest.
That's okay. That's okay.
Because like I said, it's just like a sub tier. I feel like, I know it's like, what is that, his first movie?
No. It's Lupin the Third, Castle of Cagliostro was his first movie.
Well, I know this is his early career. Because I know this came out before Ghibli even was a thing.
Yeah, it did.
I feel like he made Princess Mononoke to just make Nausicaä better.
That's what a lot of people say, yeah.
Yeah. And, going into Nausicaä, I didn't know it was going to be the same. I thought it was going to be something completely different, So when I went into it, and then like 20 minutes in,
and it's like the same thing. It was disappointing.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was going to be the same thing either, but because of how much I didn't like, I was indifferent towards Princess Mononoke. I was like, oh shit, this is the same fucking movie, but it has everything I wish Princess Mononoke had. And I'm going to be honest, this movie is just Princess Mononoke, but what I wanted it to be. I love a lot of things about this movie more than Princess Mononoke. And that's crazy to say because Princess Mononoke is the level up of this. But I feel like this movie tackles the conflict, everything that Princess Mononoke tackles in a more convincing, like, better way. And it's so crazy. Once again, like you said, it might just be the way I watch them and the order that I watch them in that might really gauge my opinion. I've never seen Nausicaä before. I didn't know anything about it. And that like, once again, like, I know a lot about Miyazaki's character and the idea that like when he decided, like, yo, I'm going to make a movie, that this was the first idea. It's like, yo, this nigga was a god out the gate. Oh my God. like basically, like, he did the shit, like, everything that represents Miyazaki now is like in this movie, like fighting, planes, family and love and, animals dying. All of that shit is here, bro. Like, it's magic, like it, and it's got, and there were so many like little things that I liked about it. I love the animation of his old shit way more than the new stuff. It just has this, like, it just feels more him. It feels like I'm getting more like of like a genuine thing because it's a lot more, I don't know if choppy is the right word, but it feels more like a personal thing. It feels more like his art style. I feel like later on it's like, this is Studio Ghibli's art style. But in the beginning it's like, nah, this is Miyazaki's art style. Like, this is how he draws. And I like that a lot more. I also just love, there are some animation techniques they use in this that they don't use for modern animation, like, anymore. Like, for the ohms, like the big worms, they had like paper cutouts of each of their layers and they would move them with like a little like flap, like a picture book.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I was like, and when you watch the movie, you can see it. Like, you can see how they move, and it's like, it's not animated digitally in a computer. They just took the frame and they just like moved it like slightly with like a piece of paper. And it's like, that's so cool. And like, the way they handle depth of field, where it's like you can tell that something is like far away and something is closer, is so much better in these old kind of animations because I don't know how they do it exactly, but it's like objectively like closer to the screen. Like, that's literally how they animated it, where it's like, the animation cell is like closer to the camera than the background is. Like they move the background like farther, literally that's so real. It's so like, holy shit. It's so like authentic and cool. And this movie is so big. There's like planes crashing and people fighting in the sky, and they go to the Sea of Decay, and then they go over to the kingdom, and they go to this place and that place, and then there's a giant fucking, Evangelion monster. Speaking of Evangelion, Hideaki Anno, the guy who is like behind Evangelion and like he made that shit, he animated the part with the monster. That was like the first thing he ever did. So and it's like, it's so crazy how like that is who he is now. Like he still does that shit, like today. And I just like like that just, it's so godlike. It's like two gods sitting in the same room coming up with a masterpiece. You got Miyazaki's magical war love piece, and then you got Hideaki Anno's like nihilistic monster that's gonna destroy the planet, and it's just like, I just love that so much. It's so badass, bro. That's like, think about it. And I was looking up stuff, and Miyazaki said, yo, if this movie sucks, it's because you didn't animate the god part well. And he told that to Anno, and Anno was like, okay, I'm sorry. And I think that's just so funny because they're so iconic now in retrospect. This movie put these niggas on the map.
I mean, so you didn't like the god part in Mononoke?
I didn't like it nearly as much as this, cause like I think conceptually this one just resonates with me more because it's like, I don't know. I think the idea of like a creature that humans are taking for their own advantage, and like the idea and the way that they did it, where it's like he's coming out before he's fully developed, like the humans are forcing like a early birth because they just want to use him for power. I think conceptually that's so much cooler, and I think his design is cooler. I think the narrative significance of it is cooler. I think the scene in general is just way cooler, and it was like this tangible beast. And the way they hype it up in Nausicaä is so much better than in Princess Mononoke. In Princess Mononoke, you don't even know that the thing does that. Actually, do you? Does he transform before the ending ever? No? Okay. So like the way they hype it up, the movie starts, the opening shot of the movie is of the giants, and they tell you that these giants roam the land first. So the idea of like, oh, there's one left, and it's like awakening in the climax of the movie, that's a lot cooler to me. The way they set that up made it more interesting, because they built it up as this like, yo, it's this ancient being that hasn't been around like forever, and he can fuck shit up, and like, like he was around for everybody else.
I don't know, because when movies do things like that, it's always like, he's gonna like pop up at the end.
Right, but I didn't know that.
I prefer Mononoke's way of doing it.
That's
like
fair.
A surprise. Like it's like they awaken the god, but in Mononoke they killed the god. I guess is the way you look at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, in like Mononoke is like these humans just killed a god, and now like the force.
That's what
like,
I mean. It's the same thing in Nausicaä. They basically kill him.
It's the same. It is the same thing.
Mm-hmm. But and that's why I like Nausicaä more, because it's not just they killed him. It's they like forced him to come out of his like fetus before he was ready, basically, and that's like so fucked up, and like so there's so much. I don't know. Conceptually, that has a lot more like going for it for me personally. I think that's just cooler and like adds more emotional heft.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think comparing Mononoke to now, like with all those last year, especially with like Australia on fire and Brazil on fire, them's on fire. I feel like.
What are you talking about?
like, you know how like the forest, like last year, like Australia on fire.
No,
the
I didn't know.
On fire.
What are you talking about? I don't know anything you're talking about.
Last year, 2020, when fucking the whole Amazon forest is on fire.
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know that at all.
Whole country of Australia is on fire.
The whole country? Australia is huge.
The whole thing was like burning down. Like
what?
A bunch of forest fires.
Okay, I didn't know that.
And
that's
I feel
really
like
cool.
It's not cool.
It's not. It's
like,
bad, but yeah, it's
like
interesting.
Mononoke is like that. Like it's like that shit's even happening now. Like it's obviously not the God thing, but like these humans killed this God. Now this whole forest is gone.
Right.
And like
right.
even in still today, humans play a part when it comes to all that forest fire stuff happening.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I like Mononoke better.
That makes sense. That's valid. Yeah, I didn't even see it.
But at the same time, it was a suspense of not knowing what was gonna happen once they shot this fucking dude, took his head.
Mm-hmm.
And then
that's true. Like, that's true.
I don't know. I thought that was more interesting.
Mm-hmm. That's valid. I've seen Mononoke already, and like that part didn't resonate with me at all on my second viewing because I just knew it was coming, and like, you know, I understood it. But that perspective that you have, having watched it for the first time, that makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense that's the reaction you would have. The reaction that you had to Mononoke is reaction that I had to Nausicaä, because I was like, I didn't know what was gonna happen. And and like when the god dies, it really is. I felt the exact same way, Manny. When the dude dies, I'm like, what are they gonna do? Like they're all fucked. Yeah. Like it's over. And the same reason. So bro, like I felt the exact same way. The thing about the forest fires is valid though. I think the symbolism there and the analogy to real life is a lot stronger than in Nausicaä. I'll give you that. Even though that kind of is happening in Nausicaä because they want to burn down the Sea of Decay, and she talks about how like under the Sea of Decay, like the trees are like under the, you know, the entire like insect place.
Yeah.
I just love the world of Nausicaä so much more. There's so much more going on. There's so many Evangelion-esque designs of like the monsters, and you got the cool animation. You have the Sea of Decay. You got the Valley of the Winds. You got the airships. You got so many set pieces. They went all out with this movie. Like the airships. Can you think of a movie of this scale and this level of animation that came out before this? I don't even know if you can.
I'm new to anime movies, so I'm wrong at it.
Well, I mean, not even just anime movies, just anything animated, period. Like, did anybody try to do something of this scale in an animation before, like, 1980? I don't even know. It just feels so new and, like, ambitious. But...
like, fucking, it looks like Doom.
Honestly, bro, it has such a distinct visual style in terms of its character. Bro, we talk about character design, we talk about costumes. I love the costumes in this movie. I love the costumes, and I love how the ships look. They're fucking awesome. I love everything about that.
Yeah, the ship crashing was crazy.
Yeah,
I like how it looked. All of it looked cool.
Mm-hmm. I didn't expect them to commit to that, because it was like, it's like giant fucking ship. It's like huge. I really went into this with low expectations because it is literally the same movie as Princess Mononoke, but it came out like 20 years before, or like 15. So I'm sitting here like, okay, so this is going to be like a worse version of Princess Mononoke. And when I see a giant fucking ship the size of a city explode in like the first 20 minutes, I'm like, okay, this is pretty godlike. Like, so I don't know. It's like, it's the same fucking movie. I don't even know what else to say. What are you looking up?
Huh?
What are you looking up?
I was just reading some Miyazaki stuff.
Yeah. I also watched another video essay on Nausicaä that gave me more context as to, this movie's making. You want to know something that's so interesting? Nausicaä is based off a manga that Miyazaki wrote. Like Miyazaki made the manga. And the only reason he made the manga was because when he wanted to get funding for the movie, people were like, it needs to be based off something. You can't just have an original idea. So he was like, all right, fuck you. I'm going to make my idea in manga form so that I can make a movie off it. And that's so...
Yeah.
That is so gangster, Manny. Like, that's so, like... oh, my God. That's so cool. That's so crazy. That's so insane. How could anybody do that? Like, I would never even consider that shit. That's how passionate he is and how much he tries.
Yeah, we really want to get the story out.
Yeah. And I also really like just, how Isao Takahata, who is the other premier Studio Ghibli director, he did Grave of the Fireflies and other, Ghibli joints. But him and Miyazaki are like, two peas in a pod, or they were. And like this movie was like the start of that, Well, actually it wasn't. They were together on another movie before this, but it was like the start of Ghibli basically. And it was like, it was the big three. It was Anno, it was Takahata, and Miyazaki all on the same team. And they were all busting their fucking ass. It wasn't like, they didn't even have all their shit together, and they had to make compromises too. Like, like he said that he looks back on this movie and he like feels, like he could have done better and blah, 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 because he was on a deadline and shit. And I think that's really cool. And I think that's so endearing. And that makes me empathize with the story a lot more. It feels like Princess Mononoke, but like made through perseverance, and it doesn't feel like they cut corners when watching the movie. You don't feel that. So it just feels like they still made a badass movie regardless of it. And I just think it's really cool. I don't know. I don't know what else I have to say.
Fucking Nausicaä and the Wolf Girl look exactly the same.
Yeah.
They have like the same hair. Mm-hmm. Same like short hair.
Exactly.
That I noticed. I guess that's like a little like reference to his own thing.
Right.
He referenced his own.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, hey man, it's valid. When you make a godlike movie and you're basically making the same movie, it's understandable.
I wish like I didn't watch these back to back. You know what I mean?
Are you getting Ghibli fatigue?
No. It's like the same. Like watching Howl's and Princess Mononoke like the same day, I had no problem with. They're both solid.
Yeah.
But this is it's like the same thing. Like you say Howl's and Princess is the same thing, but this is the same.
No, yeah, thing. I know. This is literally the same.
I wish I watched Princess.
Right.
Gave it a month, then watched it.
Yeah, you also got to take into account that's kind of what I did. I watched Princess, and I literally gave it a month. Like I watched Princess last month. So maybe I'd feel the same way as you if I watched it like back to back. I remember early on I was like, fuck.
Yeah. I was like, no way it's the same thing.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. Fuck. That's
that got me excited. That like made me invested more.
Really?
Yes.
I feel like out of all the movies I watched, I feel like I owe this movie a rewatch.
Really? Do you feel the same thing with Howl's Moving Castle, where it's like this movie isn't bad, but like, I just didn't like it, kind of thing?
I don't honestly. I don't want to rewatch that.
Okay, that's fair.
I really don't.
But
I'd rather rewatch Ocean Waves, to be honest.
Well, I know you liked Ocean Waves.
the best fucking Ghibli.
Yeah. That's valid. I mean,
but nah, I feel like Nausicaä, it deserves a rewatch.
You think that the way that you watched,
yeah,
you think the way that you watched Princess Mononoke and Nausicaä back to back really dictated your opinion on Nausicaä? If you watch Nausicaä first, do you think you'd like it more?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just so weird. It's like I don't fucking know.
It's okay.
It's like watching like Marvel movies back to back, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. They're all kind of the same, especially these two. It's like different people, different settings, same beats.
Yeah, with the Marvel movies, like,
same messages.
With the Marvel movies, you got like a year out to forget about the last one, to consume the same story.
Yeah,
but it felt fresh. I wish I had like a fresh start to.
I understand. I appreciate your honest, sincere opinion.
I don't even want to rate it, to be honest.
That's okay. I don't even deserve
it.
That's okay. It's okay that's a good thing to decide. Sometimes you're not ready to rate something.
I gotta be fair.
Yeah.
I can't rate this movie right now.
Okay. Cool. I mean, that's fine. I would give Nausicaä an 8 out of 10. That's my rating. I liked it. It was like what I wanted Princess Mononoke to be. It was in the same way that I said Howl's Moving Castle was Princess Mononoke, but it's doing more. I felt like Nausicaä was doing more in the same sense. Yeah. Not as much as Howl, but more than Princess Mononoke. There were more locations. The character design was varied in a way that I liked a lot more. Princess Mononoke, it was like, oh, that's a dog, that's a boar, and she's wearing a kimono, and they're all kind of dressed like...
It's more realistic.
They
can't fluctuate like that. Plus,
that's true.
Because fucking Nausicaä's post-apocalyptic.
Yeah, and that's so interesting to me.
Howl's is super magical, so
yeah,
it's hard to compare when like this movie's like fucking back in the day.
That's true, but
that's like comparing GTA to like Red Dead Redemption.
And honestly, I do compare GTA and Red Dead Redemption because yes,
really
they are
the same comparison. It's not the same comparison.
No, I think you're on the money because GTA and Red Dead are essentially the same kind of game. They're open world, third person shooty game. One of them is cowboy-y, one of them is modern-y and has like colorful buildings and colorful environments with varied like characters and stuff.
Cars.
And I'm gonna be honest, that comparison that you make where you're saying that as like something where it's like I can't make that comparison, I feel like I can. I don't really like something like Red Dead. I find that to be less compelling than something like GTA. I don't want to explore a world like Red Dead more than GTA. I don't want to explore a world like Mononoke's world more than Nausicaä's. I prefer post-apocalyptic dystopian movie over nature feudal Japan. So that's
I think I preferred the feudal.
Yeah. That's valid. I just I like when there's a lot to chew at, and I didn't feel like there was as much to chew at in Princess Mononoke aesthetically compared to the other ones.
I don't know. I feel like in Mononoke's setting and time period, it's just like way more restricted than these two other movies.
Exactly. And
to me, you can't compare it like that, but I can't.
Yeah, that's valid.
It's not even like fair to me.
I know that Princess Mononoke is doing its own thing, and I don't like want to make it seem as if Princess Mononoke is like. I mean, I guess I am essentially saying it's a lesser movie by giving it a lower rating, but I just. And maybe it has to do with the fact that I'm watching these back to back. You know, maybe if I watched them like years apart and I didn't watch them like doing a marathon of Ghibli movies, I wouldn't be so like on that as I am now. But yeah, I feel that way now. And I understand that Princess Mononoke needed to be that way. And what I'm trying to say is, like, it's okay that it wanted to do that. Like, there's no issue with that. It's just not my kind of speed right now. I like when there's a lot going on. I like when there's a lot of things happening in the world. And there's, like, objectively less happening in the world of Princess Mononoke than Howl's Moving Castle and Nausicaä. Yeah. So, I mean, ratings? I feel like we're done. I feel like that's it.
I don't have a rating for Nausicaä.
Yeah. So I gave it an 8. All right. I guess that's it for those Ghibli joints. That's all. Pretty, not much to say about any of them, but I mean, I guess that's valid for the first viewing in a while. You know, it's kind of what you get out of these movies. They're too much to really unpack unless you write a fucking essay.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, I don't feel bad about not having much to say, because I didn't have too much to say either. So yeah.
At the end of the day, Ocean Waves is just better.
Yeah. And it's crazy because, like, we're talking about, like, all the war, like, movies, and I have claimed that Castle in the Sky is my favorite Ghibli movie. I wonder if that's going to hold true. I don't know if it will.
If it's your favorite Ghibli?
Well, that's the opinion I held for a while, and I haven't seen it in a while, so I'm interested to see if that's going to hold true on the next viewing whenever we decide to watch that.
Yeah. We're gonna watch it eventually.
Yeah.
Why do you think is Grave of Fireflies not on HBO?
I'm pretty sure it is. Are you?
I don't remember seeing it.
Pretty sure all the Ghibli joints are on HBO. The Dune Agenda. Grave of the Fireflies is not on HBO. Oh my god.
Yeah. I noticed that, right?
Yeah.
If it was, I would have been watched it.
Yeah. Fuck.
That's weird.
I mean,
that's why I didn't even when I noticed it wasn't on there, I thought it wasn't a Ghibli movie. I thought it was something else. I thought it was the movie.
I'm pretty sure I don't know, maybe it's a little licensing wise, maybe it is a little different. Like, it is a Ghibli movie, but maybe it's not, like, legally. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like they made the movie, but maybe it's, like, not in the same pool. Like, Disney's like, I don't want to fucking distribute that shit. So I don't know. It's not even Miyazaki, so, like, maybe it is a different pool. Who knows? People consider it a Ghibli movie, but I mean, are you gonna find a way to watch it? Do you want to watch it? I know there's always a way.
There's a way.
Yeah.
If there's an anime, there's a way.
Hey man, there's no restrictions for me. I will rent anything that you want to watch. So what are the next ones?
I want to watch Arrietty because I think that's gonna be different.
Yeah, that'll be a fresh change of pace.
I think I want to watch another romance one, like Only Yesterday, or when.
Yeah, we can do that one.
What's that one? When
Marnie was there.
Marnie.
Yeah. I'm excited to watch that one too. I haven't seen that one.
I gotta knock out Star Wars. I think I want to watch Arrietty, then Marnie, and then Star Wars.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Write that down.
Arrietty, Star Wars, and what was the other one?
Marnie.
Those are both on HBO Max?
Yeah.
You gonna watch Dune?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know when though.
Okay. Well, you only got 30 days if you're gonna watch it on HBO Max. So.
Yeah, I'll watch about it.
Gotcha. The Dune agenda.
It's in theaters right now, right?
Yeah. It just came out.
I think, even though it's fucking free, I kind of want to watch it in theaters.
It is a big movie. It's a movie that you will sit there and be like, yo, this will look great in IMAX or something, or like on the big screen. And the movie theater I went to, it looked like dog shit because it was a cheap fucking theater. But I kind of want to go back and watch it the way it was meant to be experienced. So we'll see. Yeah. Well, I mean, do whatever you need to do. So if those are going to be the next three, no My Hero? Or you're just indecisive about that? No pressure. If you don't want to watch it, you don't have to.
When does it come out? I'll watch it next weekend.
The 29th. And I don't know if it'll be where you are like the whole time, but should be. It comes out like Halloween weekend, and then it's probably going to be in theaters for like a couple weeks.
Let's see if it's going to be near me.
Yeah, tickets are definitely available.
I'm going to have to sit next to the fangirls fucking dick riding Dobby for some reason.
Because he's edgy, Manny. Because he's edgy.
Is that all it takes to be edgy?
Yeah. It doesn't take a lot to be edgy. You just gotta have piercings and wear black and, be very pessimistic. It doesn't take a lot to be edgy.
Well, guess what, Ali?
What?
I think I'm gonna go for that look.
Please do. That would be funny as fuck. I want to see you with 3 fucking things like pain in your nose. Boom, boom, boom. I am pain. That really is Dobby. He really is like pain. It's just like edgy. He fucking shoots fire. He hates life.
Blue fire.
Mm-hmm.
Blue. It's fucking blue.
You hate My Hero.
I don't hate My Hero.
Okay.
It's fucking so like ass. And it gets good out of nowhere.
Yeah. Season 5.
I don't like Deku. I don't like the guy.
Man, people fucking hate this nigga. I don't know why. People can't explain why. I like Deku.
It's like how I didn't like Asta in Black Clover.
Really? It's the same?
Yeah, but he got better though. Like he stopped all that screaming stuff like halfway through the show.
I guess Deku can be annoying in that way.
I think
he mumbles a lot.
I think the show, like, directors seeing the backlash of like Asta like screaming for no reason in the show, and it's like took that out the show. It was like they was like, oh, maybe this joke isn't funny. Like,
yeah.
So Asta got better. Deku.
Yeah, he does have tics.
The show's had so many episodes, but not a lot is memorable.
That's valid. I think
the hero killer.
In my opinion, My Hero from season 1 to the first arc in season 3 is extremely memorable because that's like the tournament, Stain, and then All for One and Muscular, and those are the best parts of My Hero in my opinion. I remember all of that shit very vividly. Well,
you read the manga, so.
Well, that's I read the manga for season 5 only, and in anime form, I think those 3 are like great. and then everything after that in anime form is like whatever. Overhaul is so just, who cares? Like, who gives a fuck about Overhaul? He is such a, that shit is filler. That is a filler arc, bro. Overhaul's the dude with the you know, the beak mask.
Oh yeah.
That was, it was one of those arcs that you can't outright say is bad, but in the grand scheme of the story, it's like you can cut that shit out. Like, it doesn't even mean anything. It doesn't like hold, it actually does hold some narrative significance, but it's so detached from everything you've seen before. They literally introduced like 7 characters for that arc. Like, they introduced the big 3 at UA. They introduced Night Eye right before the arc begins. It's like, bro, like, I have so much to say about that arc and just season 4 in general, and just the direction that My Hero takes after season 3, part 1. We don't have to get into that, but do you want to talk about character design again? Do you have anything more to say about that?
I have a lot to say, but
we can wrap it up. Yeah, I understand. Yeah. All right.
I love talking about character design.
Yeah, we can talk about whatever. There's no limitations to these.
Me and Lewis, Correa, fucking, I remember we was on PlayStation. We was talking about cover arts for like fucking hours. We were literally like scrolling down on Crunchyroll, and I was telling him, I was like, Lewis, if you see an anime where the main character is in the middle and he's surrounded by 6 girls on the edge of him, the show's ass. Then I remember we was scrolling down Crunchyroll and be like, here's one, here's another one, here's one.
What about ReZero? That's what the poster for ReZero is. It's like Rem and thing.
I don't know how how the first season cover art looked.
They vary. They make multiple cover arts.
I like the season 2 one. I did. Let me see if I can pull it up.
Yeah. Arrietty. I've seen Arrietty before.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Marnie though.
Oh yeah, look at this. This is cool to me.
Oops. I can't.
He is surrounded by the females, yes.
Yeah,
but
there's more going on there, I guess.
You got the bunnies from the. You didn't watch the season, right?
No, I didn't see it. I didn't know.
You got the mob beast. You got the. I don't know if you can see him. The main antagonist.
Yeah, I guess there's more going on in that one.
And it's like it's just like the glass. He's coming through.
Yeah.
I don't know. It looks kind of cool.
Yeah. That was not season 1 though.
Yeah, it's definitely not season 1.
You're right. Posters do make the season.
And here's another one. This is the season 2 part 1.
Yeah, that shit looks OD.
There's a lot going on in this one.
Yeah.
All these are the witches up here. Fucking, and she's like,
I don't even know who she is.
Yeah, I know. She's huge.
But
I want to see season 1. Oh shit. I think that's it. Is this one? Yeah, this one. Don't get me wrong. This one doesn't look good, but
it really is the same thing that you just said.
I know.
It's a dude around surrounded by 6. I mean, do you consider that bad?
This is pretty bad.
Okay.
The other ones are definitely way better.
Yeah, that doesn't mean too much to me. I don't know. The significance of a poster depends on like the show itself and how the poster represents the show. So if it is following that generic template, but it represents the show well, then maybe, I don't know, maybe that poster could represent the show better. But
no, because you got to realize there are shows that look like this. The world's finest assassin.
Yeah.
He gets reincarnated. We don't I mean, come on.
Yeah.
I really know.
That's true. My Hero got some godlike posters for some dog shit seasons. Like that poster for My Hero is so good, but the season
is lame.
No, it makes me want to click on the show like without context.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
There's like nothing going on here. There's walking.
Yeah, but it's better than
this
posing.
Is cool. Dude, this guy's nice.
I mean, that's not bad. I guess
is nice.
Yeah, that is great. That's different than most posters. It's like a scene. It's like a scene of the show.
The season 1 was him looking down on Aaron, not Aaron looking down on him.
Yeah, exactly.
Bleach is fucking ass.
I mean, I don't know. I don't feel. It depends. Bleach is an ass show, so it's fitting for it to have an ass poster. Sorry.
No, this is the thing I'm talking about. We don't look. I mean.
Yeah, I see.
Fits the category. Nigga in the middle. 1, 2, 3, 4 bitches.
Yeah.
Another one. 1, 2, 3, 4 bitches. I don't know. I just can't click on these.
Mob Psycho's got godlike poster. Oh my god. Look at that.
Pretty gay.
I love when you can. Really? You're gonna tell me that's gay? Really? I'm surprised.
You can't even see what's going on from here.
Because it's a little fucking poster. Like, is the poster defined by how good it looks when it's minimized to holy fuck?
This is a cool one. Overlord.
That's like a. It's so clickbait because you think it's gonna be great and then it's not that at all. Is it?
Nah. I don't know.
That's how I feel. That because I've always wanted to click on that show.
I just can't see what's going on from here.
That's
I
understandable.
don't like Mob Psycho. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Oh wow, that's a bold statement.
I don't like the show and the character. I don't know. It's literally like I don't know. The show is fucking trash.
My heart just sank. You just broke my heart. That's okay though. I'm surprised. I mean, I can't really discuss it because it's been too long.
This is a good one. I like that one.
I guess it's fitting. I'm so surprised you don't like Mob Psycho.
I don't. But look at this one. How many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Damn, they fit 8 in one. Sheesh. Here's another one. Trash Isekai. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 bitches.
Bro, I don't know what makes a bad poster. Tower of God is a stupid poster.
These two. Look at these two. This is what makes bad.
But Tower of God is like the same as that, right? Would you say so? Like when I look at Tower of God, it doesn't look any different than those other ones.
It doesn't. But this is a Crunchyroll original. So yeah. But look, how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bitches. 1, 2, 3, 4 bitches.
Does Luis Carrera like Mob Psycho?
It's a good question.
You don't know?
No, I don't know.
You never talked about it with him?
I don't know. I don't remember shit from that dog shit show. I'm sorry.
Manny, you're killing me. You like One Punch Man?
Season 1.
That's interesting.
High school prodigies have it easy, even in another world. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bitches. Oh, brother.
All anime posters are bad. Every single one, even the good ones, are like stupid.
That is just not true. I'm sorry.
Look at Cabaneri. Looks like all the other ones. It's like the same.
Cabaneri's fucking ass.
That's what I'm saying.
But it's an ass show with an ass cover.
Show me a good show with a good cover. I guess Kaiji has a great cover. That's pretty awesome. I like that one.
Look at this one. Oh my god.
I can't even see it.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you define as a good cover? Just something that... What about Junji Ito collection? Do you think that's bad?
This doesn't even count because it's like... It's not even like...
It's like the manga.
Yeah. I'm not even counting it. here comes the Aztec War. Oh, brother. Look at look at these two. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
They're
7.
literally the same poster. It's the same poster. Oh my god, it's what we were talking about. It's the same thing. It's a nigga with a sword that looks like Kirito that's got all of his bitches. Oh my god. That's so bad.
Oh, man.
I feel like a lot of these anime just follow the convention of let's put everybody on the screen and let's have the main character center stage and then everybody like behind him. And then anything that doesn't do that is considered good, you know? That's why I'm saying, like, what constitutes as good, because everything is just kind of that, you know? Does Steins Gate have a good poster? Does 91 Days have a good poster? That's just a screenshot from the show. It just says 91 Days.
Nah, Steins Gate doesn't have one. But
I don't know. I don't.
It is the greatest anime ever. So,
I mean,
listen.
I wasn't insinuating that I had a bad poster because I like the poster for Steins Gate, but I'm just.
No, this is pretty mid. This is a good poster.
Yeah, that is a great poster. That's a poster you'd hang up on your wall. That's a poster that would exist even if it wasn't the poster for the show. You know, like someone would fan art that shit.
Yes, but Attack on Titan is a great show with a great poster, and it even means something.
Yeah.
To the other posters, it's cool.
That's very true. You're right.
But I think Fate has a good one. There's so many Fate series. Oh my god. Never mind. What's Castlevania's poster?
Castlevania posters are godlike. At least the Blu-ray covers. The posters on Netflix are different though. Netflix doesn't have like real posters. They just take a screenshot from the show.
They always take a screenshot of a side character and it's fucking weird.
Look up Castlevania Blu-ray covers. They're amazing. It's like artwork. Castlevania has some godlike posters. Castlevania has the best posters. Yeah, that one, season 2, it's different. Yeah, that one is just like, it's like a reference to the game, and like, you know, it's with this one, and it's reminiscent of the actual like story in season 1. Like, it makes sense. You know, Dracula popped up in the sky. It's Dracula's house. It's the blood moon. And then season 2, go to season 2. It was right there. It's right there. It's right there.
To
your right of yep, that one. That's the season 2 cover.
Yeah, this is a good one.
That's goated. And now go to season 3. This it's under that one. That one, yeah. I love that one. I think that one's awesome. See?
Yeah.
See?
Good
But
shows.
you see how that one is also like everybody is like on it? But why is this one better? You know? What makes this one better?
The thing is special about this is because this is not even how like it looks different from what the actual show.
Right. The artwork is like is a different like style of art. It's not like screenshots of the characters from the show, or it's like not drawn by the same people. It's like more detailed. There's more shadows, and you know
the background makes sense. I remember that fucking ice fit that season.
Yes, it's ambiguous, but like with the context, it's good.
I like fucking this dude being in the middle because he was like the center part of the whole season.
Yes, yeah.
Then
right.
I feel like I don't know. These people being here complements the background.
Exactly.
Background complements them, and it's relevant to the season in the show.
Exactly, and the way they're positioned is relevant to like everything, like the other characters as well. Like like the vampire leader is above like her sister, and her sister is like above, you know, the guy that she controls, and you know, the relevance like narratively is how they're
And Isaac was was a big. He was fucking with Dracula, and I guess Dracula's son is above him.
Yeah, exactly.
It's cool, and I just
That's
like the Castlevania font. Just looks
Mhm.
good at the top. I wouldn't
It
want
does.
this to be down here.
exactly. This is a 10 out of 10 poster.
Cool as hell, for real. That's dope.
I can't wait to see what the season 4 poster looks like. Yeah, I don't think it exists yet because season 4 Blu-ray
Yeah.
like didn't come out.
I was gonna search up fucking Fates. This is not the one I was looking at.
There are so many different covers for Fate.
I think it's Fates era. I think this one. I like this one with just her. And you wouldn't know, but this background, this mountain has a lot of
Narrative significance.
yeah. It ain't the
Interesting.
best, but I think it's decent. This one is fire. Holy shit, this is clean.
It's the same one too.
I know.
It's like the
But
same
all
show.
these people.
Mm,
Oh damn, that's dope. You don't even know who these people are.
yeah. It does follow the same conventions as other posters, but I don't know. I guess it has more unique colors, and it's one of those things where when you see it, you immediately know.
It's the way these people are placed back here.
Yeah. It's
This
like
is
Death
like
Stranding.
fucking. This looks like fucking the
Sauron.
Berserk thing.
It does look like I was saying Lord of the Rings, but yeah, it does look like Berserk. It looks like the hand of God. Reminds me of the Eye of Sauron in Berserk. I mean, in Lord of the Rings.
This is the elevator play works on. This is alright. Nothing really crazy.
It's trying something different.
This is kind of dope. Actually, this is kind of fire because these two being back to back.
Yeah.
It's fucking amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I remember I didn't tell you what that means because if you ever did watch this one day and I told you, it kind of ruined it. So.
Yeah. I might.
So
Mm-hmm.
we'll move on because I don't want to get too excited and spoil.
Let me see what posters I don't know. Anime movie posters. I don't know, bro, cuz like when you say covers, like it changes depending on what you mean. Like I don't know, if you mean when you say cover, if you mean like cover for covers differ, like if you mean the cover for the Blu-ray or the cover on Netflix or the cover for like the poster, it changes all the time, so like it's different a bunch.
Yeah, when I say cover, I just mean the one on Crunchyroll, to be honest. Crunchyroll usually gets like the main cover.
I like Promare's cover. I think Promare has an awesome cover.
That is a fire cover.
Yeah. Princess Mononoke has a good cover.
Top
I
tier.
love Howl's Moving Castle's cover. Spirited Away has a godlike cover. Holy shit. I guess it has two. But what do you think of the cover for Death Note? I never actually paid attention to it now until now that I'm looking at it. It's like actually kind of like you never really paid attention to the thing. Now that I think about it.
I'm seeing a bunch of these. Which one is it?
Oh,
there's
one. Yeah, that one. That's the one.
I like this one. It's all
Yeah.
dark.
Yeah.
And shows dark.
The dudes in the background. What's that in the middle though? Is that a key? What is that?
No idea.
I don't even know either. I don't know.
Well, I guess I have to rewatch the whole show and find out.
Have you seen the Cowboy Bebop movie, Manny?
I've seen parts of it.
Do you want to watch that before the next for one of the episodes in November? because the live action's coming out?
I think that's a good. I think that'd be cool. If I can, I would have to find it somewhere.
It's on 9anime, and like, it's like the only way to watch it. Honestly, it's not legally accessible.
Yeah.
I checked earlier. I was like, can Manny watch this? It's on 9anime. So that. Yeah, I mean, is that what you want to watch? I mean, when will next episode be? If we do 2 weeks from now. Okay, let's figure out how we're gonna do this schedule. Like I said earlier, let's iron this out right now. So today is the 25th, or 24th or whatever, Sunday. So the next episode 2 weeks from now will be the 7th of November. You have Arrietty, and when I say 2 weeks from now, the reason why I do that is because one of my podcasts that I listen to that basically does what we do, where they recommend movies and they talk about it like every week. They basically do that as well. But when they do every 2 weeks, they don't record 2 weeks apart. I think they record like 1 week apart and then they release it like every 2 weeks. So do you want to watch it in a week? I think a week's enough time, right? To watch all that stuff, or do you want 2 weeks?
We'll probably need
2 weeks.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just trying to make it easy for us to try and, you know, get the most out of the convo, see if like we can time it properly.
Yeah. If I manage to finish in a week, then we just do it. But
how about, so let's let's commit to talking on Friday of November 5th, and that'll be the deadline. Is that okay? So you can decide for yourself, like, let me watch these like right before Friday, you know?
mm-hmm.
If you want to do that. Yeah. I have seen Arrietty, and I will probably take notes. I will prepare for the next conversation more than I did for this one. I will try to make these. I will try to bring more to the table than I did today.
Fuck.
What's up?
I gotta go pick up my laundry.
Oh no.
Fuck yeah. Just have to pick it up. But yeah.
Your name has a good poster.
It does. Arrietty. What is it? Arrietty, Star Wars.
And when Marnie was there. You're gonna forget that.
No, I already wrote it down.
Okay. I keep forgetting. I was like, huh? What's the next one? Yeah, I'm surprised you're not getting exhausted with the Ghibli joints, because I was like literally like before I watched Howl, I was like, I don't want to watch it. Like I was honestly feeling that way because I've just watched like so many back to back, but I loved it regardless. I took a long break. I took like a month break, so yeah, and I watched a lot of stuff in between. Yeah. All right, those are the three. All right. Hit me up if you have any problems with Disney Plus, because I don't know, it might cancel soon because I canceled it. But I'll resubscribe if I need to.
All right. I think my cousin sent me his shit the other day, his password and stuff.
Oh, cool. All right. Well, just let me know if you're good and you're all set.
Yeah, I think I'll be good.
All right. Bet.
It's been fun.
It has been fun.
Episode what, 9?
How many did we do before ping pong? I know we've been through this so many times.
I have it. I got it down.
Look it up.
Ping pong. We did 2.
Okay, so this was episode 8. This was episode 8.
Yeah.
Yeah. Episode 8. 3 movies. I feel like I said everything that I could say about all of them. Yeah. All right, buddy. I guess that's it.
All right, bro.
I'll see you later.
Till next time.
Till next time. Deuces.
All right, I see you.